Welcome back, DNA Strand crew, to the newest episode of Stardom Situm Saturday, more specifically Week 14 Stardom Situm Saturday. And let me just say this to share, we were talking a little bit here before we opened the show up today. Last regular season episode of Stardom Situm Saturday for 2025, kind of bittersweet. We've had a lot of fun doing this. So many great people joining us, asking questions, talking football. We love doing this every Saturday night. But obviously, introduce my co-host here. It's going to be the one and only Teixeira Justin Tessier. You can follow him over on Twitter at Teixeira91. Teixeira, bittersweet here. Last regular season starts it Saturday for 2025.
Oh, it's such a good ride. I think we had a good hit rate for the chat here this whole Stardom Situm Saturdays, and I had a blast doing it. Really tested the endurance and stamina of my back over these last few weeks because I loved hanging out with all you guys here and doing this. I'm looking forward to the off season, get the grind going, build some more content ideas for you guys, and have this thing rolling up week 1 next year.
Absolutely, and we'll try to be with you guys every step of the way. We always say it, and we mean it. So let's just get right into it, Teixeira. Big week for everybody in the start-sit realm, really in the fantasy football realm in general. Maybe some people are playing for that first round bye. Maybe some people are just trying to eke into the playoffs, right? Or maybe someone's just trying to play spoiler and wants some help, try to knock down one of these big teams, maybe knock someone out of the playoffs. But here we go. I'm going to start here with you, Teixeira. Quarterback start for week 14. I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Go ahead.
My last regular season quarterback start of the week is going to be the man. He's back. He's the Ferrari over there in Ohio. I'm going Joe Burrow against these Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Keeping an eye on the weather reports. It looks like it's going to be light snow at best come kickoff time, so it won't be too detrimental to performances or productivity for Joe Burrow. I think having T. Higgins back, coming back from the concussion at full strength, he'll have his full arsenal of weapons. And like they finished off the year last year, I think their two are going to go out on a bang. I think they're going to go out firing and slinging and hot and putting it all on the table there. I got Burrow with a ceiling of 24 points. I know he got close to that, if not hit it, last week in his first game back from the injury. And another thing I like to elaborate on him too is he looked really good for a guy who came back from a serious turf toe injury. He was not exactly a Lamar Jackson mobile or a Kyler Murray mobile, but like he was able to elude some stuff in the pocket. He was confident planting off his foot and getting those sharp throws downfield, and that gave me confidence to help make this pick for me this week. Bills defense isn't as intimidating as it looks like on paper. They're going to be without Joey Bosa, one of their pass rushers that they so rely on to get to the quarterback. He has a hamstring injury. Should give Joe Burrow some more pass per time. Also, with our guy Chase Brown back there, giving him some good key blocks to keep his eyes down the field and find a Mike Gesicki or a Noah Fant or one of the star wide receivers. So I can confidently say for you guys in week 14, you need a quarterback to get yourself in the playoffs or patty stomp somebody out of the playoffs. Throw in Joe Burrow. He'll get you a confident 26 points as a ceiling, 20 points as a floor. Let's go.
And you know what, Teixeira, I'm really glad that you said that, right? Talking about Joe Burrow, because like we talk about Chase Brown on the network, like different players there from that Cincinnati Bengals team. Like really, you want to talk about a complete rewind in fortunes for a team, right? I mean, like, and now they have something to play for too. Like they could possibly still win this division. It's on the table. I mean, it's very unlikely, but they aren't completely out of it. So that's good as well. And you're right. He looked very good, Joe Burrow did last week. You know, I wouldn't have had that on my bingo card. First game back, still dealing with a little bit of an injury against a division foe like Baltimore, looking really good. So what kind of a point total do you think Joe Burrow can get to this week?
I want to say 23 is like the point total I think he can get, like between the ceiling and the floor. I think his ceiling is 26, his floor is 20. I think he can confidently hit that 23 spot. Definitely multi-touchdown game. I think this comes to a shootout. He can hit the 300 to 350-yard passing realm, and I think it's just going to be wheels up for him in that passing attack. They're going to need it to keep up with this Bills offense that knows that this Bengals defense is just open season for them. And I think points are going to be had all over the place.
Yeah, I like it. I like the call out, and we'll see. I think this could definitely be a shootout type game, as you mentioned, something to keep our eyes on, and confidently starting to play some of these Bengals again. It's nice to say on an offensive perspective. But let's go over to the quarterback that I'm going to be starting here for Week 14. It's going to be one of my guys, and it's going to be Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers. We talk about it. Teixeira says it's Toyota-thon, Jordan Love. That's what we like to talk about when it comes to Jordan
Buckle
Love.
up, Bears.
He gets hot this time of the year. Now, let me just say this. I think this could be a shootout potential of a game as well. And that's strange, knowing the Packers and Bears to share. You know what it's like.
Oh, yes.
Usually it's ugly, low scoring, defensive minded running game. But I think there's going to be opportunities for both of these passing offenses in games like this. And you look at Jordan Love, maybe getting Jaden Reed back this week, right? That could help. Matthew Golden, is he going to be available? Christian Watson's been playing a big role. So this is all very positive, good things coming for Green Bay. And I think that this could be a little bit more high scoring than people would suspect, considering the fact that the Bears and Packers traditionally don't put up this kind of point total. But give me Jordan Love this week. I think he's good for 22. I think he could at least get there. We've seen it against your Lions to share. He looked very good in that game, and it is his time of the year. So give me Jordan Love to put up a nice game this week. And here we go. We got the questions filtering in already. We'll get started here right now. We have Juan asking, who for my wide receiver 2 and 3 in flex spot? Got Devontae Adams, wide receiver 1, and Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs at running back 1 and running back 2. Zach Charbonnet, Travion Henderson. Wide receiver, Jordan Addison, Jacoby Myers, Deebo Samuel, Quentin Johnston. Tight end, Jawan Johnson, Zach Ertz. Kittle's on a bye. So, okay. Here we go. So who for wide receiver 2 and 3 in flex spot there for Juan? Going over some of them players that he mentioned to share. Who do you like there?
This week, I like Jacoby Myers as your wide receiver 2 going up against the Colts, a division matchup. This is a play for first place, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be slinging it all over the place and finding his receivers. We saw great rapport from those two last week. He had a big game, and that's good to see. It gives us a little bit more of a floor to rely upon of Jacoby Myers, as much as we admire his ceiling and his potential and what he's been able to provide for us in fantasy previously. I think he gives you more peace of mind there in your wide receiver 2 spot to solidify it, with already having the touchdown machine that is Devontae Adams. Now for the wide receiver 3 spot, I'm going to go actually with Deebo Samuel in this matchup because I like Jaden Daniels coming back. I think they're going to have to account for him in the backfield, which Vikings could lose track of Deebo Samuel in the flats and the short to intermediate routes and on those wheel routes that he's notorious for taking to the house with. I think he's going to have a high reception game and probably I think it's going to be high reception to touchdown, but yardage. I can see him getting anywhere between 40 and 60 yards, but I can see him getting anywhere between 7 to 9 catches and taking one of those to the house because the Vikings to play up against. I know the Seahawks didn't do that much in the passing against them last week, but they didn't necessarily have to because of that amazing defense and that run game that used upon the Vikings. So for my flex spot, I'm going to go. This all depends on if Chris Olave is good to go or not. He was questionable with back spasms again, but he did practice in limited fashion. But I think I'll still go Juwan Johnson over Zach Ertz because if I'm already playing Deebo Samuel in my lineup, I don't want to cap my performance in a playoff dependent matchup with playing 2 players from the same team. You're kind of capping your ceiling there. And so that's why I lean going Johnson over Ertz as much as I think Ertz will probably could have a better game. I just playing Samuel in my route. I just don't want to handicap my potential ceiling.
So you're saying Johnson in the flex is what you're saying. So you're saying that you're going for tight end. You're talking just straight tight end.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying tight end is what you're saying.
Yeah. For the tight end. Yeah. So Samuel for the wide receiver 3 and then tight end is Johnson.
Okay, so he wants a wide receiver 2, a 3, and a flex. Is what he's asking.
So Myers in 2, Deebo in 3, and Johnson in flex.
Okay, so here's what I have, and I think that this is available. And if this is available, this is what I would do. Wide
Okay.
receiver 2, I am going to go with Jacoby Myers. I agree with Teixeira on that. Wide receiver 3, I'm going to go Deebo Samuel. I agree with Teixeira on that. But in the flex, if Travion Henderson is on your bench, I'm putting Travion Henderson in the flex position, right?
Oh, they're on bye.
Are they on bye this week? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought they played
the week that you need them the most for the playoffs, and the Patriots are on bye.
I thought that was Buffalo this week. I was like, look at my chops. I'm like, that would be great.
I know. Otherwise, I would very much put Travion in the flex.
Buffalo's given up so many rush yards. But let me just
say
that,
Bob's Patriots are on bye, so.
Yeah, that's it. And I love Jordan Addison, but you can't trust him right now. You can't. So I think I agree with you then, Teixeira. Let's throw Juwan Johnson in the flex, right? So we'll put Juwan Johnson in the flex position. We will go with Deebo Samuel. We'll go with Jacoby Myers. I think that's the route I would go. He said, should I go with 2 tight ends? That's what we're talking. Yeah, so we are in agreement there for one. And he also said, should I pick up Boutte, but Jordan Mason, Vele, Adonai Mitchell, or Wilson off of waivers? Do I drop Ertz, Juwan Johnson, or Singletary? Look, if I wanted to get Boutte, I would drop Singletary. No problem.
Correct.
No problem whatsoever. I mean, I would definitely grab him if I could one, and I would drop Singletary in a heartbeat. We have Coolio, buckle up, Bears.
That's yeah.
Give it to share a little bit of love. And then now we have Jared asking Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix this week. Okay, so if we had to play one of them quarterbacks, we know Jaden Daniels coming back from that injury to Shara. Are you going to go with Daniels or are you going to stick with Bo Nix this week?
Bo Nix is playing the Raiders.
Yeah, we seen what that was like on Thursday night. It was like fool's gold.
Yeah. Wow. Fool me once, shame on me. I'm not falling for the. I'm going to stick with my process, my strategy here, and my fantasy builds. I'm going to stick to my convictions. I will take the risk of the higher upside with Jaden Daniels and the potential rushing ability and those receiving options, and going with Bo Nix in a matchup where they might not have to run or pass the ball all that much if they're beating up on these Raiders, either via the defense or the running game. And I like the over-under in the Vikings Commanders game too. I believe that's higher than the Raiders and the Broncos. So more opportunity for points. And I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels. I think he's the better talent as well.
So oddly enough, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to go Bo Nix. Like, I know it was kind of like
you're a believer.
Yeah, I'm Bo leaving this week. I know it was kind of like a death nail sign. You know, when we went against the Raiders the last time, we talked about how just like
my eyes burned.
It was like popping the balloon. It was like, man, it's like, literally it was that bad. You just want to flush that down the commode. But let me just say this. Like, we talk about the run game to share, and I agree. But my thesis is, can they establish the run, right? Like, I like RJ Harvey as a home run hitting flex type fantasy option. Like, I don't think he's bad for that. I think he's a great best ball guy. But is he a workhorse back? I don't think he is. I think they're going to have to lean on Bo Nix in a game like this. The Raiders are a team. Look, I know it's division. I know it was ugly the last time. I just think that if I had to place my bets, I don't see that happening twice. And I don't really have a ton of confidence in this Washington team right now in general. Like, I mean, I just think that if I had to play it safer, I think that's the safer route to go. And I feel better about playing it safer. So give me Bo Nix here by a hair, but I don't blame Teixeira. It's enticing. It's enticing when you see a player like Daniels. And the big question is, how healthy is he really? Number one. And will Minnesota kind of capitulate? Because really against quarterbacks, they haven't been terrible, right? They've been kind of keeping. So that's kind of the big thing there. So it's a little bit of a disagreement there for Jared. We got one Daniels. We got one Bo Nix. We need Bob here as a tiebreaker right now. That's big culture, Bob.
But where's he lurking?
I don't know what he's up to tonight. He's up to something, that's for sure. It's probably having to do with
opening up some cards.
some critiquing of some football cards or criticizing some more dumpster diver teams, no doubt about it. We got Mark here asking Tyrod Taylor, CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert, or Sam Darnold this week. Okay, so there's another quarterback question here to Shara. Tyrod Taylor, CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert, Darnold. Who you going with?
Man, all these guys outside of, I think I'm going to go with Darnold just because of the better matchup, because like Miami has been playing people respectively in the passing game, and Tyrod Taylor with just Mechie and Adonai Mitchell, I don't have much faith going into my playoffs in a must-win, trotting him out there it's the Jets. You're playing with fire if you're trying to throw those guys in your lineup at this moment. CJ Stroud against the Chiefs. It is tempting in Kansas City with the Chiefs back against their wall. I think this game's going to be more closer than people think. I think this is going to be a lower scoring matchup between these two teams, similar to what we've seen with the Broncos and Chiefs earlier this year. I think that his ceiling's really capped with just how well his defense is playing. So they're not really having to throw a whole lot all over the place, and how well the Chiefs defense is against the pass. I don't think they've allowed a touchdown to a wide receiver one. Well, I scratched that. They did with Pickens and Lamb last week, so never mind. But regardless, the matchup's too tough. I'm sticking away with it. And Herbert, you got to pay attention to the injury. Right now, he's listed as questionable. He's game time decision. I monitor that. So that's why if he is healthy and playing, I'm leaning Herbert over Darnold. If Herbert does not, well, he's Monday night too, so you won't know. Oh, damn it.
I'm going Darnold. I'm not playing around. Honestly, look at it last week. He has Tyrod Taylor listed here as well, right? My thing is Tyrod Taylor lit up the Falcons last week, and we're talking about a geriatric Tyrod Taylor, a guy that's older. I know it's tempting to maybe turn back to him this week, but these Miami Jet games can be really ugly.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them, right? They could be ugly, low-scoring, disgusting type games. So, if it's me, I'm trusting Sam Darnold going up against that Atlanta Falcons defense. They've been giving up chunks. And, look, he's been
it, TJ. You talked me into it.
He's been pretty solid all year round. And you know what I said on From Whistle to Whistle. I am a Jim Harbaugh supporter. I like a lot of Chargers assets, but I'm beginning to think fraudulent a little bit, right?
Ooh, a little off-season storyline for the DNA Network are the Chargers frauds? Find out.
We'll be talking about that, absolutely. So there you go, Mark. I think we're going to turn to Sam Darnold here for you, and that's the route I feel most comfortable with going up against that Atlanta team right now. Bob says second job. Okay, Bob. So what is that second job? I know what it is. He's secretly consulting the Las Vegas Raiders right now.
I know. He's trying to get that OC job.
They're paying him money to give his input. That's what it is, and he don't want to say it because he just hates the Raiders so much. But we got Coolio.
He's whispering into Genty's ears.
Yeah, that's right. We got Coolio saying, who wins tomorrow, Steelers or Ravens? Coolio actually thinks Steelers. They get up and crazy for Tomlin after the shit show last week. I love the confidence, Coolio. You know how we are. We got to stick together. But let me say this.
For the butt.
Let me say this. I don't like our chances. I really don't. I think this thing's dead and buried. I think it's time for the Steelers to turn a new leaf. Let's get a new coach in here. Let's get a whole new system in here. Let's go. We got the draft in Pittsburgh. That's exciting. Maybe try to see what we could do at quarterback. But I honestly think the way the Ravens can run the ball after seeing what the Bills did with Derrick Henry, we've seen it last year in the playoffs. I think it's right in the teeth. I don't like the way we are. We're softer than baby shit. It's terrible right now. So, we got to start playing a little bit tougher than that. And Tomlin's losing the team. They're not responding to him. And that's what happens when coaches have been around since the Stone Age. You can't have the same guy for 20 years. So, Teixeira, I think
sorry, Coolio. I'm sorry, Coolio. As much as I'd like to see your black and gold take the dub, it's looking not like that's going to happen.
No, absolutely not. But the chat's still open, guys. Let's see what we have here. Offensive scheme is shit. No doubt, Coolio. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Bob says they would be a better team if I was consulting. Yes, they would. I agree.
Put in your resume, Bob. Send it into the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, I will. I'll be like this. You guys want to fix it? Call a little bbig culture, right? That's what we're talking about. So, all right, let's go over now while we wait. More coming in. Baby poop is pretty soft, Coolio. It is. I don't know what could be worse right now. We got it all over the place. Let me just say this right now. Let's get back in. The chat's still open. Anyone wants to ask questions, we'd love to answer them for you. Start sits, anything week 14. We'll continue to talk about it. To share a running back that you're looking to start here for week 14, who are you firing up?
I know this guy is bittersweet for you. He's cost you money in the past, but I'm rolling with him this week in my playoffs. Needing to get into the playoffs. It's Kyren Williams. The Cardinals have allowed 7 TDs to running backs over the last few games. That's just too juicy of a matchup to pass up. And again, the Rams should have and should play well against these Cardinals. So don't have to worry about weather down in Arizona. I think that Kyron finds himself in the end zone once, possibly twice, giving him a ceiling of 26 points, and I think he's going to have a floor of 18. Rounded out realistically, I think you get 22.5 points this week for you in fantasy. Solid RB1 numbers to get you through and help anchor your roster in case if someone has a down week going forward. I just think that as much as Stafford's been throwing the ball around, I don't think in this game that they're going to want him to throw it more than 30, 40 times, being at the matchup that they have coming up next week against my Lions. So I think they'll want to keep him nice and fresh and ready to go for that matchup. And why risk him if they don't have to?
I like it, Teixeira. And Kyron Williams, Mr. Reliable, right? I mean, he almost has to be at least a flex at worst. You got to keep him in there.
Yes.
And I really do like him this week as well. Coolio says Chase Brown. We might just be talking about Chase Brown a little bit, Coolio. Stay tuned about him. We might be talking about him. We have Jared asking Monungai or Harvey PPR. Here you go, Teixeira. Your guy, Kyle Monungai, or RJ Harvey this week in a PPR league. Who do you like better?
I like Kyle Monungai, but I don't care that Harvey's playing the Raiders and that crap. You know the new RB1 in Chicago, and that's Kyle Monungai. I need to get the poster up of him standing on top of DeAndre Swift with the Monungai season right above that, because I really pounded the table. This is the dude. This is the guy. He's got the juice. I think he's scored in every game since he's been getting more of the carries and the workload. And Caleb Williams is going to rely upon him this week. That running game, like we've been talking about and what Bob's been preaching, if they get that running game going against the Packers, better odds and better chances they pull this game away and get to steal the win away from the Packers. And even in PPR, I just like the touchdown upside of Monungai more than I do Harvey because of what you talked me into with how confident can we be with Harvey being effective or that run game being effective for the Broncos. Like it could be more of a Bo Nix type throwing the ball around. Harvey's just, you're hoping for that 60 splash play to accumulate all the points you're looking for in your matchup.
Yeah, and the big thing is RJ Harvey's so dang touchdown reliant, right? Like, I mean, like that, like, so is Monungai in a way, but like,
he had 25 carries.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's starting to get it, but I'm just saying, like, to start out the season, that kind of was the trend. Like, it's starting to go more in his direction. I agree with that. But, like, look, I mean, I just think that, like, 3 points the last time they played the Raiders. He was running back 2 last week, RJ Harvey. Like, he is the most frustrating player to put in your lineup. We talk about it, best bally type guy. Like, but I think I got to lean with you. I think I'm going to lean Monungai here just because I think he's going to get more of the lion's share of the work. I trust what the Bears are going to be doing as far as, like, featuring him more than what I trust, like, with the Broncos. We talk about it. It's like a bingo card. Pick a thing with the Broncos. You never know. And I do think it's going to be a little bit more Bo Nix related. Like, I just think, like, no matter what, with the injuries Denver has at running back, you're going to probably get 10 or 12 points out of Harvey just based off little dump offs and, like, what he can accumulate on the ground. Mm-hmm. But man, oh man, like, if he don't get the touchdown, that's all you're probably going to get is about 12-ish points. That's the ceiling, right? So I think with Monungai, 25 plus carries, you talked about it. I think that's good. I think that I'm going to lean on that too because I think he does score at least once this week. I do. I think that they will move the ball. I think this will be a little shootouty. So I'm going to go Monungai as well. I agree with Teixeira on that call out. But we have Coolio saying Kyler in Pittsburgh next year. Love or hate it. You heard it here. I mean, it's definitely possible. That's a stupid move we'd make.
How many firsts do they have? Because, like you said, TJ, there's another team further east that's got multiple first-round picks that might
we love bringing in older quarterbacks that are a little washy. That's like something we love to do. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised. We think we're contenders every year. We need to build it. And Bob says every Broncos.
Yeah, absolutely. I put my Bronco bingo card earlier this year. After that Raiders-Broncos game, I tossed that bingo card. I'm done.
That's right. There's no free space on that bingo card. But Let's go over now to my running back that I'm going to be starting this week as we await more questions to pile in here. It's going to be Q is RB1 for you going up against the Tennessee Titans. Look, good, bad, or indifferently, Shedeur Sanders is moving this team a little bit down the field better. What we've seen with Dylan Gabriel. I'm not saying he's great, but it is better from fantasy, right? I like that. Tennessee Titans have allowed the second most rushing touchdowns in the NFL this season. And we know what Q's specialty is. If you get it inside the 5, that guy's going to take it in for you. I think that he's almost a lock for anytime touchdown this week. If he's in plus odds or close to plus odds, that's a great play. And man, oh man, I think that Cleveland's going to really have to rely on the run game in a game like this. Quinshon Judkins, you hear it here first. I think this is probably I think this could be a 20-point game for Quinshon Judkins this week.
Hell yeah.
Against the Tennessee Titans. We love us some QRB1 for you. And two, I think Dylan Sampson's still dealing with a little something too. So that could even be more touches for Quinshon Judkins, which is even greater in a game like this. But okay, Teixeira. Like I said, we're waiting some more people to join in. We love answering those questions once they come in, but let's get into some receiver talk here. We'll go ahead and answer this question after you give your receiver that you're going to be starting here for week 14. Who do you have?
I've got me some Christian Watson, big playboy. I think he's going to bust one out this week. He's been, since taking over that wide receiver role or whatever that's worth in the Green Bay offense, because it's like a rotating musical chairs game for them. But I watched him just punish the Lions last week. Just that big playability, like that alone, that play right there, that was 14 points. Holy shit. Like if you can get 14 points from a guy in your wide receiver 2 spot, I like my odds of winning my matchup. So I'm going to have Christian Watson there. The Bears defense is very suspect. They watched the Eagles throw A.J. Brown however many balls last week and absolutely torch them on Black Friday. So I'm confident that the Packers and our Jordan Love will unlock this Bears defense and really at least hit 1 or 2 of those deep balls to really make it sting. And I think those go to Watson, and that could really make your fantasy day and really be the edge to put the lineup here. That's where I have him as a start of the week, because this is the guy I think in a lot of matchups and a lot of rosters, people are sitting there looking at him at a flex spot, which is really good. I see him as a flex, but he's more realistically like a wide receiver 2 in camouflage clothing. Like you want to play him in your flex, but he's going to have those wide receiver 2 numbers this week going up against the Bears in a must-win game for the North. And I think that like you alluded to, it's going to be a shootout. The ball is going to be everywhere, and I think more often than not, it's going to fall in Watson's hands. I got minimum 1 touchdown for Christian Watson. I think he's going to hit the 60 to 80-yard mark. I got a ceiling of 20 points for Christian Watson and a floor of 12.
Okay, and he has been that necessity for Green Bay. Like we do see maybe Reed coming back, maybe Matthew Golden coming back, but still, I mean, we have something cooking here a little bit between Jordan Love and Christian Watson. Let's hope we continue to see it and Watson stays healthy. But you're right. Like this could be a good game for him. 100%, no doubt. Let's get into Jay Pool's question here. And let me pull it up. We got him coming in a little bit faster and furious now. Let me go back. And it is right here. For the playoffs, should I drop Troy Franklin and pick up A.D. Mitchell, or hold Franklin? My other receivers are Nico, Sutton, Tet, and Alec Pierce. DJ Moore, Luther Burden, and Jaden Higgins are available on waivers as well. So, okay, give us some waiver options there that are available. If you were looking to maybe drop a Troy Franklin, would you pick up any of those guys that are available other than A.D. Mitchell? Because I don't think I'm picking up A.D. Mitchell. I mean, that's someone I just really don't want.
That's not who I'm looking at.
No, but I mean, who would you like there out of the group that is available to share?
I got 2 guys that I like there that it's available. I'd be dropping Troy Franklin, and I'm going to be dropping Alec Pierce. I'd be picking up Jaden Higgins and picking up Luther Burden. Luther Burden is going to be a sneaky play this thing. He's one of my sleepers, big sleepers on rosters, because with the news of Adunzai being week to week and out this week specifically, I think Ben Johnson's going to have to lock him in like the more of the JMO role this week and use him more than he would like to. And I can see him getting taking one of these dump offs for 40, 60 yards. Like I give this guy his respect of his speed and his talent. And I think by necessity, he's going to have more of a ceiling game this week than he would have if Adunze was in the lineup. I like his odds. I like them better than a Pierce and a big splash play from what he is able to do. And I like it for what the Franklin's been able to do. I mean, Franklin's really touchdown dependent. Outside of that, he's very stuck in that flex range. And I just like the high upside of a Caleb Williams, this Bears offense, and having a Dunze out of like adding him to your roster than holding one of those two other guys. And then Jaden Higgins is a solid wide receiver 2 to flex guy as well. Like he's going to get his targets. I know Nico's been eating a lot lately, but still my premise too is that the Texans and the Bears are in the hunt and being competitive and staying strong in their matchups. So they're going to put points and play competitively, and it gives you more opportunity for fantasy production from those players because they're playing for something. They're putting a lot more out there than having a player like A.D. Mitchell, whatnot. They're on teams that are pretty much out of it. They're just out there for the most part for what it is. It's just, running route and like doing the thing, just playing like not much juice out there. So that's the route I would go. Jay Pools. I would drop Alec Pierce. I would drop Franklin and pick up Burden and pick up Higgins. I don't know how you feel, TJ, but that I feel bullish on those two players rest of season.
I mean, like, I don't to say there, but like, I think if it was me, I what I got, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't like, I mean, it's all boom busty to me. Right. But like Alec Pierce, I mean, has been kind of the apple of Daniel Jones' eye the last couple of weeks. I mean, I don't know what's kind of cooking there. People are trying to game plan against Michael Pittman and Tyler Warren a little bit more, and that's helping him get some open space. Right. But like, he's been like around wide receiver 1, maybe 3 or 4 weeks in a row. I mean, like, it's been pretty good. He had a stinker out of like, there's 4 weeks he had one stinker, right? Troy Franklin, I'm like you, it's definitely touchdown dependent, no doubt about that. But like, really, you could say that about Burden and Higgins too. I think I'm going to hold it. But like for Dynasty, no doubt, I like Burden and Higgins way better. But in a one season deal right now, I just don't think I could let those guys go. I think I got to hold on to them. But I mean, look, wishes there, no doubt. So Coolio says next year franchise, keep Gibbs or Bijan. Coolio loves him some Bijan. Look, I love me some Bijan too, Coolio, but Jahmyr Gibbs.
It's not even close anymore. It's not even close.
It's like this, man. Like, I say this all the time. Like, it is so hard to be running back 1 in back-to-back seasons. Like, that's something that you just don't see. And I'm not saying it's going to happen because we still got a little bit to go. But I think if anyone can do it, Gibbs can do it. Like, I've never seen, or let's just say this, there hasn't been many players I've seen that can run as fast as he can and run between the tackles like he can too. Like, his body style. Like, he is a unicorn. And he's in an offense that just loves to run the football. And it's like this. I trust Detroit's offense way more.
Exactly. And that's the premise. That's why the gap is it's not because of the talent or the ability for me. The gap is widening because the offenses are going in 2 different directions. Like the Falcons are just living in their own cesspool and just not figuring it out still. And not like, it's like they're having trouble with a 20-piece puzzle here when it's really simple. Get Bijan the ball, run the offense through Bijan. And for the Lions, that's what they're doing with Gibbs. It's get him the ball, get him 20-plus touches, and watch him score 3 or 4 times a game. It's just, I think going forward and keepers, like it's a no-brainer. Like the talent and ability is close, but like the offenses and like what you want to invest in, like a stock market, it's Gibbs every time for me. 11 out of 10 times.
Yeah, for sure. And we have Jay Pool says thanks, appreciate it, guys. No, thank you guys. And thank you for the new subscribers too, whoever it was. Thank you for hopping in and joining. We really appreciate that. So we have Jared asking here, Xavier Worthy or Luther Burden this week. So okay, there you go. You gonna play Worthy or Luther Burden? You want to talk a little boom bust? Here you go to share for Jared. Jared, who you like this week?
Yeah, this is the ultimate holding the dynamite stick as long as you can in your hands. And like what you alluded to, this is the premier perennial bust option. I think Jared was reading my thoughts or something because like I'm going Burden. I'm going in that direction because I like his opportunity. I like the idea of a shootout in this game. And I like the one-off of banking on Luther Burden. Then I'm with you, TJ. Worthy's never given me a warm, fuzzy feeling when I put him in my lineup. I've always been just like the grin and bear it. We'll get through this kind of feeling every single time. And I still feel that way with Worthy because this is Rice's offense with Kelsey living it. And he's just the ancillary piece there that, he could flash and hit it, but I'd rather take my chances on getting that hit with Luther Burden this week.
Absolutely. I got to play Luther Burden too. Like if I was making a track team, I would get Xavier Worthy, right? But like this is football, and I've said it. I've said it whenever we were scouting them. Like I've never been a fan. I mean, the flashiness, like what hooks fish? Flashy lures,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I say it all the time. It's kind of similarly here when we get into all this rookie talk. And I'm not saying Worthy's the worst player ever, but man, oh man, he's in such a high-powered offense. He had the opportunity to show himself a little bit with
Mm-hmm.
Rasheed Rice down and out. We just haven't seen it. Burden is a guy that has been coming on a little low key. These Bears have been coming on a little low key. Romadunze out. He's going to have a role. I'm going to go with Burden as well here for Jared. I agree with Teixeira. We have My Barra asking, should we put Hampton back in his first week back? So here you go, Teixeira. You're going to pivot to Amari Hampton this week and trust him?
I am not going to my fan because I know the Eagles got just ran over by the Bears, but Bears, highly efficient running team right now. They have got an effective offensive line, pass pro and for run pro. Like they are moving bodies, and that's a totally different situation because with the Chargers, you have, I'm not sure if Slater's back or one of those the line is banged up, your quarterback's banged up, and going up against the Super Bowl champs, even though you're on home field, I just don't like the idea of it just makes me cringe. You're going into your playoffs, you need a must win. Do you rely on the guy that's been out for a majority of the season against the Super Bowl, and then you won't have a pivot option? It's either Hampton or bust. And I like to lean in the sentiment of just pivoting elsewhere and not being left with that option at the end of my week of like, I need Hampton to get me 20 points to win my matchup. And I just don't. Ceiling for him between 10 and 14. I don't really think he's going to hit that 20 mark if you really need that, is where I'm getting at.
Yeah. And two, like, I mean, depending on who he has, right? Like, that's another thing.
True.
Like,
yeah.
For my bar, like, if you have bottom of the barrel type guys and Amari Hampton's a huge upgrade over them, yes, I will play him.
If you have like a Chris Rodriguez or a Jordan Mason or like a Devin Neal or like, not to say those are bottom barrel players, but I'm
playing Hampton over all them guys, like you said. But now, again, if you have some solid options, I will consider, because I agree with you, Teixeira. This could be a little bit of a trap, right? This could be a guy I trust. I will play them over Hampton, but they have to be solid. I have to trust them. But if they're guys that are lesser tier, I'll play Hampton over them and see what happens. So I have to take that gamble, but it just depends on what you have on. Now to the next one. We have one asking Trevor Lawrence or Jacoby Brissett this week to share.
I love this question just because think about it. Like, who knew that Lawrence is going to catch fire this late in the season? Like, he's playing pretty well with our boy Jacoby Myers there, holding the jacket, holding things down for him. I think, though, Vegas rules apply. You got to stay in the heat, right, TJ? You got to go with Brissett. I know he's got the tough matchup against the Rams. But the Rams, guys, Bryce Young eviscerated this Rams defense 2 weeks ago. Or was it last week? I think it was 2 weeks ago now. Still, though, you had Bryce Young's do it. It was last week? Well, yeah, yep. Bryce Young was able to. I think I'm confident that Brissett can do, close to or same or similar of what Bryce Young did to the Rams. And I think that this is not necessarily a trap game, but this is a water to the face game of the Rams. Like, don't sleep on the Cardinals. Their passing attack is lethal. He's passing it between 40 and 50 times all 7 games he's been starting. So the passing volume is there. I know Marvin Harrison Jr. is out. Greg Dortch just went on IR today. But Michael Wilson, my goodness, he's just picking up that baton and running with it. And you still got Trey McBride. You have to respect that in the passing game. You have one of the better premier tight ends you're throwing to. And then there's always a little Bam Bam in there. He's been catching balls and finding his way in the end zone too. So they're going to have to respect the running game a little bit. So I like rolling with Brissett and the Flames with Brissett. But I also, if it's a super flex league, I would mind starting both these guys as my 1 and 2s for quarterbacks if I could, because that matchup against the Colts is very tempting, being that it's for the division. There's a lot on the line, so we might see surfer dude Lawrence on the shelf and more of like a superhero Lawrence show up.
Let me say this. I always say it all the time. Win me a fantasy game. It's like the backup QB commercial. Brissett, get in. That's what I say. And I'm telling you right now, this guy's been a quarterback one every time he's played this year.
Every single week.
Every time. And it's like this. I can't turn away from him now. And here's my reasoning, right? I'm just going to break this down very quick. Jacoby Brissett. All you people out there that have Jacoby Brissett, why it's hard to take him out of your lineups, because it's a win-win. If the Cardinals go into the Rams game and get blowed out, he's going to get tons of garbage time work. That goes in his favor. As Teixeira said, there's virtually no running game. He's going to throw it 90 times. That's in your favor. If it's a close game, that means the Cardinals are scoring points. That's in your favor. Like, it's just like everything for the game script works for Jacoby Brissett. And like Trevor Lawrence, has
like
been
house
playing
money.
better. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has been playing better.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But like, there are times that he can pull that typical bummer performance. It's totally possible. So I'm going to trust Jacoby Brissett. All the things we mentioned, I think that all matters. And again, thanks, guys, new subscribers. We really appreciate you. Appreciate
how close are we to 300, TJ? That's our goal. What are we trying to get? Can you help us out, guys?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're about 15 away. So, like I said, you guys are the best. So we're getting close. And we also have a question coming from Ice Cold Jones. I love these names.
Love that one.
Ice Cold. Sutton, Kareem Hunt, or Kamani Vidal in the flex. We talked a little bit about Marion Hampton, Teixeira. If you had to flex one of these guys for Ice Cold, who are you looking at there?
Man,
that's a couple tough choices, couple veterans in there. Who do you like?
I sneakily think I like I know the matchup is hard and it's nasty, but Hunt, just because I know he's going up against the Texans defense, but the Texans bread and butter where they lay their hat on is in the passing game. I think you can still run on the Texans respectively. And with Hampton being back, I don't know the workload or the timeshare, what it's going to look like for Vidal and how things are going to go there. I think I'm going to go with that veteran because I feel like I can trust Hunt a lot. Just enough I can feel okay about it.
Let me say this. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm going back to him. Courtland Sutton. Give me Courtland Sutton this week going up against the Vegas Raiders. Look, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I don't love the Broncos, but I have a feeling that things are getting a little bit better. Like we talked about Troy Franklin. It seems like Bo Nix is starting to pivot back to Sutton a little bit away from Franklin, right? Last week, a really good showing for Courtland Sutton. I don't think it's fool's gold. This guy has always been a reliable receiver, and the matchup is too good. I just don't trust playing anybody going up against the Houston Texans. Like, it scares me. I don't like it. And Kamani Vidal, like you said, what happens with Hampton, right? I mean, and we talked about the offensive line issues. And if it's PPR especially, I want to play the receiver. So give me Courtland Sutton there for Ice Cold Jones. I'm going to trust him. I'm going to put the creamsicle on one more time.
I will emphasize this. If it is PPR, then I'll lean Sutton.
Okay, so I got you to come over my way just a little bit there, Teixeira. So
yeah, because in flex spots, like if it's half PPR, I tend to be more okay with putting a running back there.
Right, absolutely. So we have Steven chiming in. Hope he's doing well tonight. Do we feel good about Michael Wilson and McBride against the Rams defense? Absolutely, Steven, because like we talked, with Jacoby Brissett, I feel
Preach
good.
It, TJ, you just said it.
Yeah, because I think the game script works good for the Cardinals no matter anyway. Rams come out and drop 30 points on them in the third quarter, and it's like 30-7. Like, you have a whole quarter to make up a bunch of points, right? And I think it'll happen, but we see it. The Cardinals aren't going to stop throwing the ball. And this is a division game. They know the Rams well. I don't think they're just going to be completely shellacked. And even if they are, I think it still goes for fantasy points in our favor. And Trey McBride's almost like money in the bank. I trust Trey McBride in any situation. Michael Wilson, now that Marvin Harrison again, I think we'll see a little bit more of that. So I do have a little more confidence there as well. But we have Paul asking, do I start Kyron or Barkley PR? There you go, Teixeira. Who you starting?
I am not starting Saquon Barkley. I'm going Kyron Williams. He's my start of the week. If you're here earlier, I was talking about it. Cardinals are just devastatingly poor against the rush lately, specifically in the touchdown department, giving up 7 in the last 4 games. That's atrocious. And like I was talking, I think it was on Whistle earlier this week. It's just the Eagles' offense, man. Like, pick a lane. I don't know what is going on. And even when they are running it or getting in close, it's going to Jalen Hurts. And Barkley is just not an emphasis in the offense this year. And it's just, I'll take the volume and the touchdown upside with Kyron in that matchup over. I mean, logically, you'd say, yeah, Barkley's the better player. But this season, the patterns and trends have shown that he's not.
Yeah, and I mean, from a fantasy perspective as well, you're right. I mean, like, we're just talking fantasy points. Absolutely, I got to start Kyron Williams. That's who I'm going to go with. I mean, he's almost been, as good as gold. I think a lot of people are getting a little Blake Corum jitters with Kyron Williams. Like, I'm not
listening. Slim and Wiz are listening.
Yeah, so like I'm not going to let that scare me too much. Like I don't think there's a lot of substance to that, and I think that Kyron Williams. This is another guy. I think you want to talk anytime touchdown. I think it could be there this week. And this is a little bit more of a not so easy matchup this week. So I for the Eagles. So, I mean, I think that I'm going to go with Kyron here as well. And usually, if my memory serves me right, he usually does work on the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, so, I would imagine so. If anyone looks that up, like I think he has.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go over here now to Jay Poole. Oh, he said thank you. No, well, thank you, Jay Poole. We're going to go to Ice Cold Jones here again, asking Chase Brown, Amari Hampton, or Kyle Monangai. Let me take the honors on this one to share. Chase Utley Brown. Give me Chase Utley Brown this week. Look, I mean, Amari Hampton, we talked about it. It's exciting, right? We're in a run-friendly offense with the Chargers. He's back. What can he do? We don't know yet. I mean, Teixeira laid out a lot of good points. Like, I think that it could be a little bit trappy, but nice to see him back. Kyle Monangai, do like him. Think he could have a really solid game, no doubt. But Chase Brown this week, man, oh man, against this Buffalo Bills rushing defense, that's like Swiss cheese at times. Joe Burrow is back. I mean, that was the whole key for Chase Brown all season long. I think another good game for him. Give me Chase Brown. I don't know how you feel, Teixeira.
Give me Chase Brown. I know, like, Kyle Monangai is my little child here. He's a little developing boy that I've, over. It's just like why I would take Chase Brown over Derrick Henry with those picks is just because, like what you mentioned, the Joe Burrow being back just is like unlocking the door, and I think his ceiling is much higher. And with him just standalone value in that offense, I know Kyle Monangai is battling with DeAndre Swift for touches back there and snaps, so that split kind of puts a little bit of ceiling of what he potentially could fully become in that offense. Whereas this is Chase Brown's backfield. This is his Autobahn. This is his freeway, and he's going to run with it as long as Joe Burrow stays healthy. I think through the moon, rest of the season with the playoffs on the line, I'm firing up Chase Brown wherever I can.
Yeah, I think he could be a league winner. I really do. I mean, he's got that kind of ability in a friendly fantasy offense. And we have Johnny Jersey asking, start Bo Nix at Raiders or Jacoby Brissett versus Rams. So here you go, Teixeira. Who are you going to trust more here this week?
Blowing on those dice, give me Brissett. I'm rolling sevens here. I want Brissett. I'm going to stay in the flames. I'm going to stay at the table.
Craps for Jacoby Brissett. Okay, I'm with you. I'm going to go with Jacoby's. He has given me no reason to turn against him. No reason whatsoever. And I mean, like, I know it's a tough matchup, but man, oh man, like I said, the game script works for this guy no matter what. Like, it's almost like a cheat code for fantasy points because no matter what, it works with Arizona Jacoby Brissett. And we have, let's see here, Ice Cold Jones asking, Bo Nix, Joe Burrow, or Sam Darnold this week? Okay, Teixeira, I know you talked a little bit about Joe Burrow. Is this who you're going to go with out of this group?
Sticking with my start of the week, Joe Burrow. I like him, and it's that Buffalo defense because if he's not killing you through the air, he's killing you through the air with the backfield with the Chase Brown throwing that short intermediate game. I just love it. The high over-under in that game, too. I think the Seahawks should have their matchup well in hand against Atlanta, but Broncos should have their matchup well in hand against these Raiders. That leaves Burrow and the Bengals up against these Bills in a shootout, high over-under opportunity for points. I like that there in ceiling, so I'm going to stick with Burrow.
Okay, awesome. And I agree with you. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow as well. And look, I mean, it's just like he is clearly the best of the three. If I'm going to gamble, I'm going to play my best player, and the matchup's good, right? And I think he can deliver for you. I really do. So give me Joe Burrow. And I love to see the interaction in the comments. A lot of friendly
I
new
love
faces,
it, guys.
new faces, old faces. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have Johnny Jersey asking, start T. Higgins in the snow at Buffalo or DJ Moore with no Rome at Green Bay. So, Teixeira, you know this NFC West better than anybody. I mean, everyone on Cincinnati can't eat, right? I think this is more of a Chase Brown game. I do think Joe Burrow will do the work as far as distributing the ball, maybe throwing a couple touchdowns. Do you pivot to DJ Moore in a game against Green Bay like this?
Yes, I do. I think DJ Moore is going to be doing this a lot with Caleb Williams on the field and silent. Just I'm looking at you, you look at me. We'll keep our eyes on each other, and we'll get to where we need to be. I think DJ Moore is going to be the go-to guy. It's not going to be Loveland. It isn't going to be Swift. It isn't going to be Burden. I think Moore has the bigger ceiling here because of the fact of what you alluded to with these Bengals. I see it being a chase-to-chase game for Joe Burrow. He's going to either utilize Chase out of the backfield and screens and wheel routes and in the flat, or he's going to rely on the big play touchdown in the red zone body of a Jamar Chase and get him fed and assert his dominance. I think T. Higgins, even though he's healthy, I love that he spreads the defense out a little bit more for Chase Brown and for Jamar Chase to get open and score more points. So he might just be the victim of circumstance there. And as far as this Packers-Bears game, you alluded to it. I think it's going to be a shootout as well. I think it's going to be high scoring, but I think DJ Moore this is going to be his legacy game for the season. I think this is going to be the game where this is going to define how his offseason goes and how the Bears view him as far as part of the future plan, sticking with them with that extension or leaning and try to figure out what they're going to do.
Right, absolutely. And it's just like the song goes, just the two of us, mm-hmm. Caleb Williams and
look
DJ
Moore.
Caleb. I'm with you. I think that he's going to target him a lot, and I do think that out of necessity, and if you look back, DJ Moore for the Chicago Bears has done damage against Green Bay as well. Like that has been documented. So I do think I'm going to pivot to DJ Moore. We are, Johnny. I think that is a good move. We'll see what happens. The weather could be a factor in Buffalo.
If you could start both, I'd recommend that. Like if you could start one, flex one, I'll throw that out for you, Johnny, to help you out.
Absolutely. That's a good throw out as well to share. So we have Kai and Claudia asking 10-man, non-PPR, who should I put in my flex between Zay Flowers, Devonta Smith, or Chris Rodriguez? So if you had to flex one of them guys to share, who are you going to play in a non-PPR? Now, I mean, it's almost amazing. Like you wouldn't think Chris Rodriguez's name would be involved in this, but the simple fact that it is non-PPR, so that does matter. Go ahead.
It's like the sequence of events you see, like Flowers, you see the grenade just pop off in the cartoon face in the smoke of black. You see Devonta Smith, grenade, pops off, smoke of black. And then you just see Chris Rodriguez, you see this little puff of dust. And I think that I don't want to be holding the grenade of Flowers or Smith this week. I do not. Because their situations have been just god-awful all year round. I'll take Chris Rodriguez in non-PPR. I'll go with the running back. I'll stick with my strategy. My what I usually like to do with my method of madness in non-PPR leagues is go usually to a running back over one of these wide receiver 2 or 3 options that could be booming, yes, but they're very touchdown dependent and not one that we ought to have more than like 6+ targets or receptions in a game. I think the Vikings defense, this is a perfect time to hit them, and Chris Rodriguez could. I think what here you're aiming for in your flex and non-PPR is 12 points, and I think Chris Rodriguez in volume alone and the touchdown proficiency, because he's been scoring, I think, twice in the last 3 games, I'll roll with that over those wide receivers. And I don't feel warm and fuzzy about it, but that's the method I'm going to go with.
Right, and it is non-PPR. So let me say this. This is something you might want to get it on camera because this is something I very rarely say. Okay. I will play Zay Flowers this week in this matchup because let me tell you why. I know a little bit of something about the Ravens Steelers. Right? I can tell you there has not been one game that Zay Flowers has not played the Pittsburgh Steelers and not delivered double-digit points in a PPR setting. Right?
Yes. I was just
so I'm just saying, though, I mean, he is someone that is getting looks in these type of games. I just
Mhm.
don't like the Steelers. I think they're really, this team is like
Mhm.
almost defeated to me. I don't think there's a voice that can help them bring them back. I mean, I'm just going to gamble on Zay Flowers here. I think that
Okay,
that's
I
the route I'm
respect
going to
that.
go. I think it's the route I'm going to go. I think Devonta Smith's matchups is too tough. We know they have their inconsistencies throwing the ball, and I'm just not. I mean, I'm not a Chris Rodriguez. I'm not really a Washington fan right
Yeah.
now. I don't like what they got cooking, but it is
If this was
non-PPR.
even half PPR, I'd go Flowers. I'll say that.
Right.
Even if
Oh,
it was like,
absolutely. Yeah, I have a feeling. I just have a feeling. I hate to feel that way, but I have a feeling. So let's go over here now to Jared saying, all right, I hear you guys. I'm a non-guy. Only fear I have is what Green Bay defense did to Gibbs on Thanksgiving. 20 rushes for 11 PPR points. Yeah, but
good
like
point.
the thing is, though, I do think that the Bears are going to score points. I mean, I think that's what matters. And like if Monangai, and he has been very good inside the 5-yard line, like, and Harvey could hit you with that 2 or 3 point deal as well. I mean, that's just kind of
Yep.
his. So I mean, like, I don't feel good about either of them, but I think
I
that they're
like it for the Bears getting in close and they need to punch it in. And who's the guy? Kyle Monunga.
Yeah, I think that matters. I really do. I mean, I think too, I mean, Green Bay, Gibbs, they kind of had a plan to stop him and him in general. I think
Monroe was out.
focus. Yeah, and Amon-Ra was out too. So I mean, I mean, Gibbs can't blow up every game. He's going to be a little off at times. And like I said, we'll see what happens. I think I just trust a little bit more of reliability there with Monungai. But I couldn't blame you if you wanted to pivot and go the other way. It's close. It's
Yeah.
very close. Very close. Ice Cold Jones have Khalil Shakir or Cortland Sutton here to share.
I'm going Shakir. I like having the. Do we call him the number one option in Buffalo as far as receiving? Is he still that? I mean,
it's tough to
I don't
say.
know.
It's tough
Because the one time I put him as my start of the week and I thought his hips weren't going to lie, he totally left me on the dance floor by myself and gave me a bad performance. So it kind of sour taste. But what? Actually, yeah, I'm pivoting to Sutton after that. I just remembered that game because I relied on Shakir and it kind of pissed me off a little bit. Actually, now I think about it, I almost lost my matchup because that son of a bitch. I'll go Sutton in this matchup. I think what you laid out, Bo Nix, more a pass heavy game, and he's more reliable than a Troy Franklin as far as dependency for volume and red zone. And I think that Harvey's a little too splishy splashy to rely on. Yeah, I'm gonna go that route, Sutton.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Cortland Sutton too. I think there's something in the win for Sutton. Like, I'm not going to trust him every week.
Yeah,
but I do think it's almost like Nix is starting to go back to him as that reliable guy.
Mhm.
Like, I got to go to somebody. It seems like they're trying to get him game plan, get him going more. So I'm going to go Sutton 2 ice cold. So that's 2 Cortland Suttons on that one. We have Coolio, Chase, Captain Canada. Absolutely. Captain Canada.
Yeah.
And I love Coolio, and it's like this: when the Penguins lose, I cheer for the Canucks just for Coolio because I know that he's a big Canucks fan as well. So we have fighting solves everything.
Yeah.
Gents, he's a good friend of ours. Good friend of ours. Gents, I have Puka, Tet, T. Higgins, Michael Wilson, and Luther Burden. I saw A.D. Mitchell, Godwin, and Barner available. Should I sit tight with what I have or try to pick up one of them? If you elect to drop, then who?
Ooh.
I mean, look, is where I have you at right now. I think I'm sitting tight, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen with Jalen McMillan with the Chris Godwin stuff. That's kind of could be stuck. Barner, it's just a touchdown or bust tight end. I can probably find them anywhere. A.D. Mitchell, I do not try. You want to talk about fraud? It's just like watching the Scooby Doo cartoon. A.D. Mitchell, it's like A.D. Mitchell, yeah, get him out. So. I love your team fighting. You got a good team. I love what you have. I'm not dropping Michael Wilson or Burden.
I think fix it. Yeah, I'm in the same camp. Just hold.
So much more upside there. And Coolio says, Zay gross. It is gross, Coolio, no doubt. But I have a feeling. I have a feeling, and I don't like to feel that way. We have a Shay here asking, start 2, Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, Woody Marks, or DJ Moore. So you got to start 2 of those guys. Who are you starting out of that?
God, because it's Christian Watson and DJ Moore. I thought if it was start 1, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, you get 2. So yes, them are clearly the 2 I'm playing too. I think that we talked this Bears.
I can't wait to
Game could
watch
be a
it on
little
Sunday.
shootouty more than people think. Yeah, I think that it's going to be a game. So yes, I'm going to play them guys. Godwin, we don't know what's going to happen there. Woody Marks has been so just like hit or miss. It's been unbelievable. Yeah, definitely disappointing. It's a shame. So we're 16 subscribers away from 300. Thank you guys. We're still climbing.
Thank you.
We're getting there. You guys are the best. And Coolio, come on, man. I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Okay, well, I promise you, Coolio, as a good a friend as you are mine, if Zay Flowers does terrible, you can call me out on anything, because that was a tough question for one. And two, like I said, it's more of a gut feeling. I just hate where we're at. I hate where we're at. So Fighting says,
is it going to be a hard day for Steelers fans tomorrow if this goes the way you think it's going to go? Or is this going to be a sigh of relief, like, okay, he's going to be gone, we're fine?
Well, I mean, it's like this. I mean, if I knew Tomlin was gone for sure and we could just restart, reboot the whole, I would be happy. But we'll just have to see where that goes. Fighting says, I believe that Benson is done for the season. That's why I thought about
Bam. It was Bam, not Barner.
Oh, I thought that was Barner. Yeah, so I apologize. But I probably wouldn't ever roster him. Yeah, so I mean, if you want to pick up Bam for Benson, I don't mind doing that.
Yeah,
I don't mind doing that at all. If you want to make that move, that's just adding more depth, and that makes sense, right? And I don't mind making a move like that whatsoever. And we have CKXPRS asking Zay, Terry, or Alec Pierce. So there you go. We got a Zay Flowers, a scary Terry McLaurin, or Alec Pierce. Who do you like there, Teixeira?
Well, how long of the game is Terry going to play? Is he going to play the full game? Is he going to be there the whole time on the field? He's really scary from us there, because even when he is hit, he has that big splash play, and then he's absolutely just disappeared. Against the Vikings, there's still a respectable pass defense. I'm a little bit leery to run him out there just yet. And they're probably
number one.
Oh, they are? Well,
yep,
you can X that right off my list. And it's between Pierce and Zay. I would have said Pierce before you pitched that soliloquy of how Zay just eviscerates your Steelers. So I don't know the numbers, but I'm going to trust your wisdom being the AFC North aficionado. You boots on the ground. And I think that Zay could have more potential substance for volume than a Pierce. Pierce could have that big splashy play, yes, and good, but that's between 1 to 4 receptions. Whereas if Zay does what you say he's going to do, he could have anywhere between 6 to 10 and a couple touchdowns and maybe throw in 60, 70 yards, and it becomes a sour day for the black and gold.
Well, every time Zay Flowers, now it's nothing amazing or immaculate, right? I think his highest point total is 15 or 16 points, but every time in a PPR league, he's hit double-digit points, right?
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, so I mean, it's reliable, it's consistent, and for Zay Flowers, that's probably the only time you can say that. So, I mean, yes, I think I'm going to
go. Also, the number one in his offense, technically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So I'm going to lean Zay Flowers there for CX as well. So I hope that helps. Terry, I mean, I think Terry would be great if he would just be playing a better matchup. I just don't like that matchup. So we have Coolio asking defense, special teams, Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins, or Washington Commanders. Okay, Teixeira, defensive man yourself. You really watch this a little bit more even than I do. Who do you like this week out of that group, and why?
This group, it's the Texans, and here why. I think they're the team that could have the highest probability of forcing a mistake or a turnover out of their games. I think Finn's Jets, most likely, low scoring, kind of boring, ho-hummy divisional matchup, low yardage, low points. It's a safer floor. You could get 10, 12 points. Good. Commanders-Vikings game, I still see some spice in the air for these Vikings to these fight. I think this could be a sneaky higher scoring game, between the 20s and 40s. Opportunities for mistakes, though. J.J. McCarthy, he's been known to throw multiple passes to the other team. That being said, though, I think the Texans is just the safer option for the ceiling because they've been scoring defensive touchdowns like nuts this year, specifically in that secondary with interceptions. They're getting to the quarterback with their pass rush pressure. In the tougher matchup, backs against the wall, the Texans need this win. I'm going to rely on the better team defense overall, despite a little bit of a tougher matchup here, and go with the Texans for the ceiling play.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the Miami Jet game. Like it could be either really low scoring or really high scoring,
True.
right? And like I don't think there'll be a ton of turnovers. Like Tyrod Taylor's a guy that historically is not a turnover machine either. So you got to remember that. And I mean, Commanders though, that is enticing going up against Minnesota, but you are correct, Teixeira. Like, I mean, this screams like high scoring to me. Like I think it could. So I think I will go with the Texans. I think that could be like a dirty 20 to 13 point game too with Kansas City and Houston. Like it could be trenchy, dirty, ugly, and Texans have been, making the big plays. So
it'll be interesting to see where we go with the pick'ems tomorrow with the panel between those two teams.
Yeah. I mean, it really, Ty laughed at me like last week when I bet on the Texans to beat the Colts, and he bet.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and he bet on the Colts and lost money, and I said, that's why you're not.
That probably didn't go over well.
That's why you're not on the morning show, I said. So he didn't like that either. So we have Ray Gamer asking here right now, start 2 in non-PPR. So this is non-PPR. Justin Jefferson versus the Commanders. Cortland Sutton versus the Raiders. Emeka Ibuka versus the Saints, or Brian Thomas versus the Colts. And would you go Daniels, Burrow, or Lamar in 6 point per TD? So let's start with the receivers. You got to start 2, Shara, and this is non-PPR. So go ahead and give me your thoughts when you got to pick 2.
Man, I really want to put Brian Thomas there, but I can't. I just can't. I think I've had the baptism come to Jesus moment last week with this team. I'm just like, it is what it is. It's going to be for Brian Thomas's season, and especially for PPR. I think he could get like a target in the end zone and get that splash play, but oh man, I think
we're playing for touchdowns when it's non-PPR.
We're playing for touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I'm at the table then. Yeah, I'm at the table. I think I'm going Brian Thomas Jr. and I'm going Justin Jefferson.
Okay, so we're close. I'm going to go Justin Jefferson, and I'm going to go safe as in my mother's arms this week. I feel that good about it. Give me Cortland Sutton. Give me Justin Jefferson and Cortland Sutton. And because Cortland Sutton, like we're talking playing for touchdowns, he's a guy that can usually do it. So I'm going to go Cortland Sutton. I'm going to go Justin Jefferson, but very close. So let's go to his quarterback part of this question. Would you go Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, or Lamar in 6 points per touchdown to share? If you had to go one of them QBs, who are you looking at?
I want to stay with my guy Burrow. I like the idea of that being the higher game between these 3 games. I just like the passing. I think what I saw from him last week, because he's back, and I am harder pulling him out of my lineup than these 2 other guys.
The only worry is the weather, though, right? Like that is the only concern because, like, I agree with you. Like, I mean, I think that no doubt to me, the matchup, the player, I think that's who I would prefer to. Because I think with the Ravens, like, yes, I think Zay could get his 10 to 15 points that he usually gets against us, but like, I think Derrick Henry's just going to smash. You know what I mean? Like, I really do.
Yes.
And I think that's what's going to really hold Lamar back a little bit. And Jaden Daniels, I just don't know if I trust coming off that injury yet. And we talked, Minnesota has been pretty decent against quarterbacks and receivers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
what time is game time?
For
the Buffalo Bengals game?
I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure.
So what I'm seeing on the weather report, from noon to 2 p.m., it's less than 50% chance of light snow flurries.
Okay. So 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock, Buffalo.
Okay. So it'll be light flurries during that game. It's not going to be like the heavy wet and what we imagine like a nasty Buffalo winter game.
Right. And Cincinnati's an outdoor team too.
Yes.
Right? And that's another thing you got to look at. So I think that I will go with Joe Burrow in that instance as well. I'm going to stick with you there, Teixeira. So Coolio says technically Benson isn't done until Wednesday.
He's like Slim's second chancer there, Coolio.
Yeah, we get the second chance corner going with Slim. We have Ray Gamer asking Browns or Seahawks defense to share another defense.
If it's staying the fire, the flames with like Jacoby Brissett at the quarterback position, on the defensive side, it's got to be the Seahawks. These guys are a menace. They are scoring touchdowns. I know the Browns are doing well, keeping things in front of them and keeping games low yardage, low scoring, and keeping games closer. But the turnover margin is vastly different between these two teams on defense. Like the likelihood of the Seahawks getting a defensive touchdown than the Browns, which creates the higher upside and ceiling play, I'm going with the Seahawks because they've just been proving it. They've just been eviscerating and taking advantage of any bad quarterback play that comes their way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go with Seattle. Like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. No doubt about that. So, yes, give me the Seattle Sea Chickens as well there. And look, I mean, I do think that Cleveland and Tennessee is going to be low scoring, but Seattle could break and score a bunch of points off defensive touchdowns.
It is Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, defensive touchdowns, turnovers, that's all in the cards. So we have Jared asking here, Godwin, Luther, Jaden Higgins, Harvey, Jalen Warren, PPR flex 2. So if you had to flex 2 there in the PPR to Shara, who are you looking at and why?
I think I'm going to go with Harvey and Warren, just because I think Luther and Higgins are still too touchdown dependent for me to want to throw them in my flex spot. I think like just the volume and opportunity with Harvey and Warren is just a little bit higher. They might not get into the end zone more likely than those two other guys, but like they're pass catching backs, so they could mitigate whatever loss you get as far as that between the Higgins and Luther or Godwin for that matter. Like I am worried about the whole Tampa Bay receiving room situation going on, like you alluded to. I'm just kind of leery and kind of been hands off about it. Like I'm not trying to invest or put my chips on any one of those guys. And as bullish as I am about Higgins and Luther in general, I think safer, smarter option here tells me Harvey and Warren. I don't know what you think, but that's where I'm leaning.
Oddly enough, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Ooh.
That's the two I was looking at. So you and I are on the same page there. I mean, look, them other guys, like you said, it's 2 touchdown or bust for me. Like Luther Burden should do better, but we still know there's Colston Love and there's still DJ Moore. So, like, there ain't no guarantees there either. Godwin coming back, like, we just don't know how this receiver room is going to shake out totally. Higgins, like we said, it's a touchdown really or bust. I think Harvey and Warren both give you a safe floor, and Harvey could have a nice ceiling. It's just, can he hit a big play? Can he do something as far as getting in the end zone? So I'm with you. So we have Coolio asking, tight end, Waller or Gadsden with injured Herbert. So let me say this. I'll start this one. Give me Darren Waller, Coolio, because here's why. He did play the New York Jets before he got injured, and he was tight end 4 that week. He scored 17.7 fantasy points. I think that we're going to see him kind of ramp up. He only had a 47% snap share last week and still was 6.7 points on a 47% snap share in a tougher matchup. So, look, I like Rondé Gadsden. This Charger team is too hit or miss for me, and I'm tired of them. Yes, kind of fraudulent, like I said. So I am going to go with Darren Waller.
You talked me into it because I wasn't following along the whole Waller production since he's gotten back. I've just been very eagle eyes on this Chargers offense, specifically in the passing game, and my red alert buzzers are going off and my alarm bells are ringing. And that unless if I absolutely have to, with no other pivot options, play the tight end position of the Los Angeles Chargers and Gadsden, I'll rock with the Waller with you.
Okay, I like that. And we have Ray asking, in non-PPR, I have Kittle on bye. Would you pick up Harold Van Jr., Evan Ingram, or Waller to play this week? So another Darren Waller in there. So what's your thoughts? I mean, how do you like Fannin against Tennessee? How do you like Evan Ingram here this week against the Raiders? Or how do you like Darren Waller against the Jets, Teixeira? If you had to pick up one of them guys, who are you looking at?
Ingram, I'm crumpling up like a paper ball and throw it in the waste bin because I just think this is just a washed year for him. I'm not going to rely on him in a crucial game matchup this week. I think it's either Sutton, Franklin, or Harvey in that offense, and that's where I'm at with that. It's between Fowler this week, and if I had to choose between the two of them, I like the talent and ability and the softer matchup of Harold Fanner going up against these Tennessee Titans, potentially being Shedeur Sanders' safety blanket go-to guy if they get in close and can't punch it in with the Judkins, getting a nice red zone pass there to Fannin. I think he can have himself a a good flame for at the flex for at the tight end position. Waller is obviously the guy that you think can get in the end zone, but I think Fannin can get the volume.
Yeah, I mean, it's close to me. It's very, very close. But like, if I had to pick one, I think I am going to play Waller this week. I think I am. I think I'm going to go with Darren Waller just because I think the Browns are going to run the ball more than anything, right? And I think they're going to do it well against Tennessee. So I don't think they're going to have to take a lot of crazy chances. I love Harold Fannin. I mean, I think for our dynasty goes, he's one of my favorite young prospects of position. I like him even more than Rondé Gadsden. But give me Darren Waller this week in similar matchups for Ray. Little difference in opinion there. And then we have Coolio asking, Jefferson bust of a redraft this season. I mean, he's definitely one of them, and it ain't his fault. It ain't his fault. It is this passing attack. And yes, to share here, Coolio says, not his fault, but it is what it is. You know, and that's the truth. It is what it is. You're right. And it is a shame. I love Jefferson. I'm a huge fan. Ray asks, should I drop Browns defense for one of these tight ends, and can I hold the Texans and Seahawks rest of the season, or should he hold the Texans and Seahawks rest of the season? So should he drop the Browns defense for one of those tight ends? Look, I mean, honestly, let's see. Go real quick. I want to see where the Browns schedule's at because I don't know off the top of my head. I know they play the Steelers one more time.
I think that's one of them.
Yeah, let's see here. Okay, so I mean, look, you already got two defenses. Like, this is my fault. You already got two defenses in Houston, Seattle that I trust. I mean, they're going to be playing Chicago, Buffalo, you know, in the playoffs. They will play the Steelers week 17. Yes, I would drop the Browns defense for.
Yeah, you have Texans and Seahawks. That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just think that no sense in hoarding them. And the matchups ain't great. Yeah, and the matchups ain't great. So, I mean, like, I'd play Waller this week, and then if Fannin had better matchups, I would try to get him.
You pick up. Oh, so would you drop two of those defenses and pick up both those tight ends, or just one defense for one of the tight ends?
I would just drop the Browns defense and pick up Darren Waller, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because, I mean,
I'm good with that.
He's going to see a ton of targets. I mean, he's like a necessity there outside of Jalen Waddle, and I mean, in the playoffs, he's got two green light matchups and one orange light matchup. So I'm going to pick up Darren Waller there and drop the Browns for Ray. No, thank you, Ray. We appreciate it. Hope we can help. Coolio says, "Good time, boys. Got to go. Christmas movie time. Home Alone 1.
Good choice.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Absolutely is. Favorite. Enjoy football tomorrow. No, enjoy football, Coolio. And yes, I mean, Die Hard is a great movie. I'm with you on that.
Snow on the Ground, Christmas movie.
Yeah. He's always, Coolio and me are always on the same page. And again, thanks to the new subscribers, guys. Getting close to that 300. Thank you so much for that. We have Aaron asking, Patrick Mahomes or Jacoby Brissett? Okay, so he's got a couple here. So let's just start with this one right now in context to share. Are you going Patrick Mahomes? You going Jacoby Brissett?
This burns my soul. Jacoby Brissett, I'm staying the Flames. I love Mahomes. Don't get me wrong, TJ. I love Mahomes, but that secondary of the Texans literally terrifies me. And Mahomes has been known to turn the ball over a key or two a couple times in these last few weeks. And you convince I can't sit Brissett, right? I can't sit Brissett. You can't sit him, right?
Well, I mean, you can't, but you can. You know what I mean? So, like, it's tough. Because here's my thing. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback too. I mean, every matchup he's faced a tougher defense, it seems like he has faltered a little bit. And it's just, you know, their season on the line. Rashee Rice is back. It seems like, too, ever since Rashee Rice has been back, he's been more on a tear. I look at it like this. In a scenario like this, I'm going to play my best player. I love Jacoby Brissett. But, like, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down with Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Because, like, I would be sick if he dropped 30 points. Yeah, I know. If he dropped 30 points. And,
so like, what do you think I don't blame him. Can get this week? Like, if Mahomes can drop 30 points, I'm thinking Brissett will get 86. That number that's
my only worry is, does the Rams play down to their competition, and then this turns into a let's be careful with the football. We have a chance to win this game 16-20 type of game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my only worry. But like at the same token, it's going to be bad against Houston too. But like if I'm looking at it one for one, I got to play my best player. I got to like, and that's where I'm at on this. So like, and they're both tough matchups. So I'm going to give the nod to one of the best quarterbacks ever. I have to, right? Like that's where I'm at. So I think I'll stick with that. I will go Mahomes. He asked Hampton, Walker, Rice, or Wilson. So okay, we'll just start with this one. This is a running back one. Hampton or Walker, Teixeira. Who are you playing this week? Kenneth Walker the third or Maureen Hampton coming back?
Oh my God. Hold on. I got to wash my mouth real quick. Walker over Hampton doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste good in the mouth. No.
Well, I mean, look.
Logically, I'm looking at it like I'll take the chance with Walker healthy, split and carry load, than Hampton coming off injury.
Well, you're hoping for that touchdown, that miraculous touchdown out of Kenneth Walker. Like, I mean, so many people. Do you get it? Do you not get it? I think I'm gonna go ahead and risk a Maureen Hampton here. I think I will play Maureen Hampton. Yeah, I think I am, because like my thing is like, even if Kenneth Walker hits his ceiling, what is he, running back 10? You know what I mean? Like he running back 10. He's done that 3 times this year. Like it's not like you're gonna have to. Like I don't see him blowing up against Atlanta just all of a sudden out of nowhere. Whenever they could throw the ball in Atlanta too. So like, give me a Maureen Hampton. I think it's going to be close. I can see a world where they both get around 12 points. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, kind of underwhelming, but average. But I mean, we did see what the Bears did on the ground, and that is a little too intriguing for me not to take a chance on in that scenario. So we have Rice or Wilson. I'm going to assume that's Michael Wilson, Teixeira. I think that's probably who we're talking. Who are you going to go with in that scenario? Because this is a tough matchup again for Kansas City. But look, if I'm playing Mahomes, I got to play Rashee Rice. That's where I'm at. So I don't know where you're
just going to say that, which is now going to bundling this. I want to play Rice over Wilson, or I'm going to pivot off of Brissett to go with Mahomes, because like I gotta keep those two together. Like I gotta have my guy, because that's the main guy that's there. I think they go, you ride and go with the ship with them, or you sink to the bottom and it falls together. I think I can't sit Rice. That even though Wilson's playing out of his mind hot right now and having the opportunity in that sort of offense, I can't sit Rice. So I'm gonna go with Rice.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. Absolutely. So we have Bowers or Kincaid. So now Kincaid is questionable, I believe. I don't think there's a guarantee. Yeah, I don't think there's a guarantee that he will play or not play. I know the Denver defense is very tough, really hard to deal with. But, I mean, against tight ends, they haven't been that strong. So, I don't trust anything in Buffalo outside of Josh Allen or James Cook at times, and I don't trust Dalton Kincaid enough. Give me Brock Bowers. He's too good. I'm not benching him for Dalton Kincaid. So, I think we're all in agreement. We have Patrick.
Absolutely.
This is for Aaron. We have Patrick Mahomes. We have, I guess you're different on running backs. I have a Maureen Hampton. Teixeira has Kenneth Walker. We have Rashee Rice, and we have Brock Bowers for you, Aaron. Again, guys, thank you, new subscribers. We're 16 away from that 300 mark, and we appreciate all the support. And we have Owen Tawns saves average Joe. So I think Owen Tawns saves average Joe. I love that name. Another good creative. Non-PPR. Now, this is non-PPR to share a tight end. Darren Waller or Brenton Strange this week, also for the playoffs. So, okay, if you had to pick one for the playoffs and this week, who you going with? Start this week and then tell me who you like better for the playoffs.
Waller this week, and from what you told me, it's 2 greens and an orange matchup. So unless if Strange beat that, I think I'm going Waller.
It's actually the same. He has an orange and 2 greens as well, but here's the thing though. Brian Thomas has been down, a little bit injured. Brenton Strange has kind of come on a little bit, but if you look at it, right, like it's a touchdown is what really did it for him last week. What saved him, because I mean, we're talking about 3 catches for 45 yards. I mean, that's just about a subpar gets. And the one thing about Darren Waller is, outside of Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane running the ball, it's going to go to Darren Waller, especially in the red zone. We've seen it with Jonnu Smith. Like, I mean, I'm going to start Jared. We're going to start Waller this week, and I'm going to like him better throughout. So I think, Teixeira, you're in agreement with me on that.
Yeah, I'm going rest of the season.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Waller tomorrow for you, Average Joe, and for the rest of the season, Waller. We're in agreement, me and Teixeira. So Fighting is asking, how do you guys feel about the Pats D in the playoffs? So let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. Like I said, don't have the numbers right off the top of my head, but I definitely want to see, because some of these, aren't new to me, and it's always good to look ahead.
I know on the offensive side, lots of green light matchups for them, but defensive side of the ball, I think it's lighter green to light orange.
It's all green. It's all green.
It's all Christmas tree.
It's all Christmas tree except for Buffalo. And again, I mean, you look at their last performance against Buffalo, it was like 9-point-ish. It wasn't bad, right? But it wasn't great, depending on how it was scored in stats. But as far as takeaways, sacks, whatever, 9 points, I mean, I feel okay about them, especially like I think they could do enough against Buffalo and Baltimore. They play Buffalo, Baltimore, and the Jets. And my thing is, like, if they can do enough against Buffalo and Baltimore to keep you just a solid point total, it could be a home run against the Jets in a Super Bowl matchup. Like if you're playing somebody for a championship, that could be a home run. So I feel confident in him. Like, that's what I love about Mike Vrabel. Keep the ship steady, right? Like, I think he can. I really think he can do that. They're not going to get steamrolled.
My one concern, though, is that if they have this division locked by week, do their starters play?
That's a good question. I mean, like, it's something you have to consider.
Mm-hmm. And to give you a sample, let's just have like two middle of the road defense. Like, do you feel more comfortable about them than the Chiefs defense for the fantasy playoffs, or the 49ers defense for the? I'm just throwing a couple out there.
Look, it's like this, I really feel good about defenses that are steady. Like, and like, I mean, I get your concerns about like the 49ers. I could feel a little bit up and down. The Chiefs, I feel, could be a little up or down. New England's been really rock solid all year.
Well, yeah.
So give me the rock solid team. And then, like, I do feel better in situations like if I don't have like Seattle or Houston, someone like that, I feel good about having New England. Like, it's good enough to win you a championship, in my opinion. It is, as long as you got a good team around it. As long as you got a good team around it. We have Jared asking, Chuba Hubbard was dumped on waiver wire. Would you guys grab him and dump Luther if Luther doesn't perform Sunday, because I can grab Hubbard before Monday night starts? Well, absolutely. Like, that's something I'm willing to do.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And, honestly, like, I mean, Luther Burden is one of them guys that are boomer bust anyway. If you need a running back super bad, I wouldn't mind making that move anyway if I needed running back help. Even if he plays
for like flex TJ, like I think I would flex Chuba over Luther Burden rest of the season.
Oh yeah. I mean, I trust Dave Canales. I trust this Carolina Panthers running game. 100%, no doubt about it. And thank you for the question, Jared. And we have Aaron. Thanks, guys. Glad I'm the only one struggling with these choices. I know. Hey. I mean, you're not the only one. This is tough right now, this time of year. And again, you got really good problems though to have, Aaron. Them are good players that you were talking about. But like, I just think when it's that close, like, this is just my preference. When the matchups are that bad, give me the better players, right? Give me the better players, and I'll see where it lands. So that's kind of where I'm at. And we have Andrew chiming in. Hope you're doing well tonight, Andrew. Thank you for tuning in with us. Full PPR, pick 3, Mecca Buka, Brian Thomas Jr., T. Higgins, Nico Collins, Michael Wilson, or Devonta Smith. So you have to pick 3, Teixeira. Who are the 3 you're picking and why? Go ahead.
I'm going T. Higgins, Nico, and Michael Wilson. Those are the 3 guys for PPR that I'm picking. I feel most confident about rocking.
Oh, my goodness. Great. That was like instant. Like, some of these you struggle with, and you were right in the pick. So, I mean, I got to give you a little bit of credit there. So, it is a little bit of concern there with the weather in Buffalo. Something that's on the back of my mind. I think that I think I'm going to go with Michael Wilson for 1. I think I'm going to go with Michael Wilson. I do think that I am going to go with Nico Collins, and I do think that I will go with T. Higgins. I'm with you, Teixeira. Like, Devonta Smith, I really don't trust that much. Brian Thomas, It just hasn't worked out this year with Jacksonville. And Emeka Buka, that was the one I was kind of teetering back and forth on.
That was the one I was teetering on. That was one. It all depends on how that wide receiver room shakes out.
Yeah, it's just such a mystery right now. And Tampa Bay's been kind of down a little bit, right? So that's another thing that I'm worried about. So, yes, I'm going to go with you, Teixeira. Let's go Nico. Let's go T. And let's go Michael Wilson for Andrew here for the 3 in full PPR. Hope that helps. Fighting asks, the only other offer, or only others I would consider rostering are the Lions because of Week 17 or the Chiefs. So the Chiefs were one you mentioned, Teixeira. Let's go ahead and real quickly. I know the Lions. Like, what's your thoughts on the Lions defense going forward here? Like, I know that that's something you're kind of not so happy about.
No, I'm not. I would not rely on. They are way too boomy busty as phase go. Like before the game Thursday night, they didn't have a sack in like 4. So, and they come in bunches. It's feast or famine, literally. And I don't like that with my defenses. I like the ones that TJ brought up: the Texans, the Patriots, the Seahawks, the ones that you can like look at and just by looking at me like, yep, I can rely on them to my floor plays, and they're more often than not going to hit with one of the plays once or twice a game, and I'm good with that. Like, who they're injured, they're really injured. Like, they might have lost Brian Branch now for a while due to his injury, and as much as I love my team, it's just realistic what the reality of that defense is looking like, and they're doing a lot of bending and not breaking, and I don't like that.
Right. And I mean, it can maybe get you by from an NFL perspective for a little bit, but as far as fantasy points and maybe winning a championship, it's going to have to get better. I agree with you. So Lions, yeah, I'm not really interested in the Lions. Now the Chiefs are the only one. Like, if you want to go the Chiefs, I couldn't blame you because I was looking ahead at their schedule. They play teams like Tennessee. They play Denver. You know, that's a team that I think that they got Tennessee. They got Denver. So, yeah, I mean, like if I had to pick between right now the Chiefs, if I had to pick between the Chiefs and the Patriots right now, I would lean the Chiefs. Right, I would lean the Chiefs because I think they're solid. Juicy. Oh, it's really juicy, no doubt about it. So I think I lean the Chiefs. Do you agree with that, Teixeira? Before we move on to the next,
I think the Tennessee Titans matchup that could win you. You're getting to the next round. Like that could be a 20-point game from just your defense.
Yeah, they got the Chargers, the Titans, and the Broncos, and I think all of them are very favorable for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I would go the Chiefs in that scenario. Abreu is asking Taylor or T-Law at the quarterback position here. So here you go. I mean, would you like here? Let me just say this. Like, I'll start this one because I respect Tyrod Taylor as a pro.
Hell yeah,
I really do. Like, I mean, it's like Jacoby Brissett. Like some of these guys, Mac Jones. Like, I respect these guys. Like, they could play. They just haven't been superstars, right? My thing is, like, I've seen this Miami Jet game. It's such a gamble. Like, it could be super high scoring, or it could be the ugliest, crappiest looking game you've ever seen. And like,
which way are you feeling this week?
I think it's going to be lower. So that's why I'm saying I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence. Like you said, he's been playing really good. I just can't take him out right now. I know it was a good performance last week for Tyrod Taylor. Could pull a little wool over our eyes. I think I'm going to stick with Trevor Lawrence there for Abreu. You agree to share it before we move on?
Because I don't know the over-under on the Miami Jets game, but if it's lower than the Colts Jaguars, I love Trevor Lawrence for sure because of the points you laid out there. Like if this is a low-scoring game, I'd rather risk it with Surf or Bra than with Tyrod as much as I respect them.
Absolutely. And we have Andrew asking, if Kincaid is out, who do I start at tight end? Zach Ertz, Dalton Schultz, Darren Waller, Aaron Fan, and Jawan Johnson, TJ Hawkinson. A lot of names there, a lot of different options. Like, look, I mean, as far as it goes for me, if I'm going to risk it, I think I'm going to go with Waller. I've been saying it like last week he played like 40% of the snaps and still had like 7 points. Like, just imagine, like, okay, you know, if he would have played 80% of the snaps, he would have had 14 points in his game back, right?
Yep.
That is about as solid could be. And there was no touchdown involved in that. It's just necessity. It's target necessity for the Dolphins. And he did work on the Jets the last time they played. So,
he did? Even better.
Yeah. He was like tight end 4 in that game. So I just go ahead and trust Darren Waller one more time in a matchup like that. We have Fighting saying Jaden Reed looks to be playing this week. Does he take over as the wide receiver one in regard to the Lions? They play the Vikings in week 17. No, unfortunately not. Like, I love Jaden Reed, but like Christian Watson is the guy Green Bay wants. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm
You
tipping
laid
my
in
hat.
other shows where you said, like, for some reason, the Packers just
Yeah. Who's their general manager? That Gutekunst or whatever his name is. Like, Christian Watson must have something on him because like he keep giving him the opportunity. Yeah, there's something going on, but like, look, and he has been performing though, Christian Watson. And the one thing I will give Christian Watson credit for, he has been the last 3-ish weeks, he's been the most consistent wide receiver Green Bay's had in a long time as far as fantasy production.
True.
And I think that Jordan Love looks good with them. Tucker Kraft's gone. It just seems like, that was his security blanket. Now he's turning to someone else. I think Jaden Reed is going to be, unfortunately, that boom busty type player. And we'll see what goes on with Green Bay.
Snaps?
Yeah, that's
like,
another
does
thing.
He
and
get the Chris Godwin treatment where he just gets lineup?
That's it. And two, like, I mean, how effective is he going to be? Like, and is he going to maybe get hurt again? I hope not. But some guys try to come back and then they get hurt again. And we've seen that. So, I think that we just got to be a little bit careful there. We have Abreu asking Herbert or T-Law. There you go. You want to talk a little bit about, like, who do you trust more? Who do you trust more there, Teixeira?
You got me just fraudulent cookie a little bit since we started the show. Like, I think I'm going T-Law because, like, I'm very nervous about that Herbert injury. And, like, I think I'd rather take the points with T-Law on Sunday against the Colts than banking on how he's going to play on Monday night against these Eagles.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I have to agree with you. And the thing is, I like Justin Herbert a lot, but something's going to have to change. Like when it gets tougher, it just isn't good for Justin Herbert. Like when these games get harder, the teams, the defenses, like he's never really elevated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it kills me. So
shades of Trevor Lawrence almost.
Yeah, well, they're both very similar, but like my thing is Lawrence has been a lot more consistent. And when I'm looking at these two guys, I'm going to go with the guy that's been more consistent. And I look at Philadelphia as a team that doesn't like to be embarrassed. They were embarrassed by the Chicago Bears. Like it could maybe get a little ugly for the Chargers. And like, and we know they
know how Philly can be.
Oh, they have the guys that have the attitude. And we know that.
That's nice too.
Yeah, exactly. And we know the Chargers like to run the ball. So like, I mean, we'll see, and the Eagles are susceptible to giving up the run. So we'll see what kind of, works out there. But I'm going to go Lawrence as well. Abreu asks, full PPR, Woody Marks, Chris Rodriguez, or Blake Corum. Thanks. Oh. Okay, so there's 3 names for you, Teixeira. You're going to get full PPR. Who are you going to go with out of that tribe of players?
Oh, it's definitely not. I'm not a Corum guy. I'm sorry. I'm the wrong guy to add. I don't see a path of success start of the week at the running back position, as we talked about earlier. So I'm going to stand behind my guy. I have been vastly disappointed by Woody Marks stacking up as of lately. So I'm going to lean Rodriguez Jr. I can get through this least amount of disappointment as possible. I think Woody Marks against this Chiefs defense, they really play the running backs of the opposing team really well in the matchups, and I'll take my chances with Rodriguez.
So oddly enough, you said you couldn't do it. I'm going to do it. Give me Blake Corum here in this game. I think that he is a guy, and look, I like your Kyron Williams call, but I think both could eat. I mean, in a game like this, I think they both could eat. I think, and what I'm hearing is like why you're seeing a little bit more Blake Corum. It isn't that they want to dispose Kyron Williams. Like they want to keep him fresh for the playoffs. They want to keep him fresh for the playoffs. So they're going to run Corum just a little bit more. And, I just think that there's an opportunity there for more of a ceiling in a game like this for that guy. Rodriguez gets 40% snap share. What does he do with it? 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right? I mean, it's a full PPR. So he doesn't really offer much in the pass catching game. Woody Marks has been disappointing. This hard matchup. So I'm just going to take the risk with Corum. Like I look at Rodriguez and Marks, like at best I'm getting 7-8 points. With Corum, there's a ceiling maybe there where he could hit 15 or 14, maybe. You know what I mean? So like I'm going to
Yeah.
I'm going to gamble and go that
Would
way.
you potentially stash Corum rest of season for the playoffs if you got a good team and have that, like, just if they decide to rest Kyron towards week 15, 16?
Not really, because they have the Lions and the Seahawks in the playoffs, and like I just think this is better for the NFL type.
Yeah.
This is a better NFL anything for fantasy, right? I just think that way. So again, guys, thank you for all the new subscribers. So are you going to join me with Corum there, Rodriguez?
No. I'm gonna stick with Rodriguez. So Corum gives me icky feeling. I just not.
Okay, so he's going to stick with Rodriguez. I'm going to go Blake Corum or Abreu. Hope that helps you. Fighting solves everything. Our good friend Stevenson is the one that has something over Vrabel. He looks so slow and indecisive in the backfield. I hate him playing over Henderson. I agree, and he fumbles too all the time, Ramondre, right? We don't like that either. I mean, that's ridiculous. Butterfingers, Ramondre. I'm with you, fighting. There's some kind of...
Fighting, you've given me a great content idea for this offseason. Is like, what are some players that they have something over their coach that we could talk about going into next season that for some odd reason they're going to get the play time and they're going to get to see the field despite we don't understand why that is.
Well, it's just like, you remember the South Park episode real quick where it was like the Civil War one and it was like with Bill Clinton and Eric Cartman. And he's like, he goes, oh, what did you? He goes, the tape with Melissa Tomei, he goes, I don't have it. I made it up. Like that's the same thing we got going on right now. You know, don't pull. So that's what's going on. So we have Fantasy Kyle. How you doing, Kyle? Glad to have you with us. Glad to have you with us tonight. PPR, Devon Vele or Luther Burden this week. Full PPR. Who are you going to go with there?
Nudie put this guy on the radar for me. Vele's been playing well lately, but that's also Chris a little hurt and Shuck playing a little bit better. I like his matchup against the Buccaneers. It seems like it could be good high volume, but if Dunze wasn't out, I would lean Vele, but because Dunze's out, and I believe that this game Bears, I like the more opportunity for points and chance for volume with Burden than I do. So I'm going to lean Burden in this one.
Okay, so this is very close. You know, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Devon Vele, and I'm going to tell you why. Because he is a guy that's going to be a target necessity earner. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like Burden, absolutely, it could blow up. Burden could get 20, 30 points, and then it's going to be like, oh, man. But, like, you're playing a game odds at that point. Like, who's going to see more in their offense, right? Like, and I like the matchup, too. And you and I talked about, to share, the Bears are a run team. We know they like to run the ball.
True.
You still have Colston Baldwin. DJ Moore, you and I talked about it. Like, this is the time. Like, if we want to see a consummation of Caleb Williams and DJ Moore, like, this is the time. Let's see it. I think that they're going to look at it that way as well. And, too, like, maybe they play a little two tight ends with Cole Kmet. Like, he's still a guy that's viable, right? Like, he's not garbage. They got some weapons there. And, like, my thing is, yes, Burden is a guy that, like, if I had some lower-end options, I would consider. But I think as far as targets earned, I think I'm going to go with Vele and see what happens, right? We'll see. Because like you said, Shuck's looking a little bit better. Matchup's a good one, too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we have one Burden. We have one Vele there for you, Kyle. Hope that helps. So some of our reasoning why we think the ways we're thinking. Maybe me and Teixeira don't always agree, but like we lay out why we're thinking that way. And maybe you could take what you want from it, and it will help. We have Kit Fisto asking, Dalton Kincaid or Kelsey? We'll go with that first. He's got a quarterback question down there, but we'll go with Kincaid or Kelsey first. Now, Teixeira, we got to remember, Kincaid is questionable.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Kelsey just because I don't know what to trust with the Bills pass catchers, even the plays. Well, how healthy is he? I own Holmes in that that harder matchup against the Texans and see what I can get there. That's where I'd hedge my bets on.
Yeah, I agree. Give me the better player. And I know the matchup's tough, but man, oh man, like it just is almost like automatic. Travis Kelce's been coming on late in the season. He did it last year. He's kind of doing it again. And I think that out of necessity behind Rashee Rice, it's the guy that Patrick Mahomes is going to be looking for. So give me Kelce. I don't trust Kincaid or the Buffalo Boomer bust. We're going to go with now the quarterback question he has. Daniel Jones or Baker Moneymaker. Who do you like between them two if you had to play one, Teixeira?
Shit, man. I'm gonna go Baker against the Saints. I like his upside more. I think the defense, I know I mentioned earlier in the season when they were playing pretty well. I think they're a little defense that they should be concerned about. And I think this is going to be more of a Jonathan Taylor game than a Daniel Jones type game as far as throwing the ball around. I think they're going to play a little bit more conservative and a little bit more respectful of the Jaguars and not be so hucky-chucky and relying on Jones's arm, because he is also injured for them. I know he's recovering, but he's got a fracture in his leg for what it's worth. So, and I know Baker's got the shoulder, but it's also his non-dominant throwing arm. So I think I'm going to put my money under this week over Jones. Just how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, we know too, like I said, as far as quality of players, Baker's good, but I'm going to go with Daniel Jones. I'm going to go with Daniel Jones because the Jacksonville matchup's the Jacksonville matchup's a little bit better. This is both divisional games. Baker has historically struggled against the Saints. Last time he played him, he got 4 points. I mean, you go back, different times. He hasn't been money in the bank against New Orleans. So I'm going to lean Daniel Jones here, but man, oh man, is that close. And there's a world where I could see both of them getting around 20 points or maybe 18. I think that's totally possible. There might not be a wrong decision between the two. There really might not be. So that's just something to look at as well. And really, both teams could use wins. The Colts and the Buccaneers could use wins this week. So I expect the best out of both of them to bring their A games. But let's go over now to share as we wait more questions coming in. And again, thank you guys for all the new subscribers, everyone commenting, anyone new here. We're glad to have you, all of our old faces. This community's been a great community this year. We love doing it, and we appreciate you guys' support. So I believe we're talking wide receivers to share. Who was your wide receiver?
Of my wide receiver was Watson.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so you were going to go with Watson this week, and I'm going to go with one of my guys here. I'm pulling it up right now. I had a couple options, and I lost my train of thought, but I'm going to get back into it right now. You're going Christian Watson, and I'm going to have to go with Justin Jefferson this week. And, honestly enough, a lot of people are pivoting against this guy. Whoa. If there is a game where we can see Justin Jefferson come back just a little bit, I'm playing him this week. And, it's almost sacrilege, and it's unbelievable. You just see the question.
I saw the finger there.
I got to run my eyes because it's I can't believe Justin Jefferson's involved in this. But, I think if there's going to be a game where Justin Jefferson could deliver the goods for you, this is a game where I'm going to trust him here this week, going up against the Washington Commanders. Look, it's a good matchup. I mean, we're getting to see what we can do with this offense now that JJ's been cleared from the concussion protocol. And let's be honest, I mean, there are a little bit of times where we've seen a little bit better out of JJ. But if you look at it, every green light matchup Justin Jefferson's had, even as bad as it's been, he's been double digits or better. And this is another green light matchup.
How's his targets been, too?
The target shares have been pretty good in those type games. We've seen 11 against the Steelers. Okay. We've seen 9 against your Lions, 12 against Baltimore, 9 against Chicago. So a lot of these green light matchups, he's still getting looks. And I just think that this week, if I wanted to bet the kids, the house, everything on anything, I could almost guarantee Justin Jefferson's probably 12 points this week, as bad as it is, right? It. So I think I still think you got a floor there, and I just wanted to get that out there and share that. So we have Fighting asking, I know you don't know the exact details. I was thinking of playing my bench, and if I lose, I may have a better playoff matchup and was curious if what fantasy football players think of this. I'm still projected +5. I mean, it's like this fighting. Anytime you like throw a game or do something kind of like that, there could be in your league people that could question it, maybe, throw a fit about it or something like that. I mean, I look at your team. I really like your team. I feel confident about it. I say just go in there and just see what happens, right? Like I just play it straight, see what happens. I think that's a better way to approach it because, in a league, that's just something that could really cause controversy, right? And it's like you don't want them headaches sometimes, you really don't. And I mean, it might cost someone else a playoff
Hmm.
spot, and then, they could have just wrecked the league. So I don't know how you feel about that,
Yeah.
Tashera, but I mean, where's your thought process?
I think what I'm one type of guy too is I'm never going to tell you how to run your team up or run your league if I'm not the commissioner or whatever. But I see where you're coming from, TJ. You played well enough this year, had a good enough matchup. You've earned yourself in this bye week, and I mean, if that's the route you want to go, I'm all for it. I mean, personally, I would never do it because my methodology, play my best guys every week, and I keep that strategy flowing. I understand behind what he wants to do, but I personally don't practice
Right.
it. But I respect what he wants to do and go about it. And as far as your league and the other go, it's like they could have had the opportunity to be in the position you are, and if the roles were reversed, they might have do the same thing as well. So maybe it's just a fear of missing out, or just a little bit of envy there, and it's tough, but ultimately you got to do what's best what you think for your team and how you want to conduct it, and you got to live with it after the fact, whatever happens.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. And two, maybe if you know the people and they're not
Mm-hmm.
uptight, if you know who you're playing with, that always helps.
Yeah.
If they're strangers, you don't know their mentality. So fighting said, well, they did change the rules to give full veto power to the commish to block my trades. So
Oh,
yeah, see, like they're and that's another thing too. They're laying for you, I mean, so it's up to you. Like if they're already against you and you want to try something like that, like yeah, like Tashera said, I mean, we can't tell you definitely how to run your team. But if that's one of them things where hey, like they've been kind of crabby about you making moves and they're blocking your trades, and you want to do something like that, like hey, I mean, whatever you think would work, and kind of like Tashera said, you put yourself in this position. So as far as like how good your team is, so
yeah.
like
Well,
you
if they're
kind of
gonna be like that too, like I'm a full advocate for it. Just keep dominating and fighting. Just make them eat it. Like keep making them eat your dust. Like if that's how they're going to behave and have the attitude towards you because of what you've been doing and how you've been running your team, so be it. I mean, you have the leverage in this. They have nothing. They just have to sit back and watch. So
Yeah, it's just like old Clark Griswold. It'll be like, eat my rubber and burn my dust. Oh, I love it. But I'm going to tell you right now, fighting, you got a good team. Whatever you decide to do, you put yourself in the position, like Tashera said, you know your league. And again, if they're kind of being crabby about it, then hey, maybe all bets are off, right? You earned that spot. Do what you feel is
yep.
right. Let's get into some more tight end talk here to share for tight end starts very quickly. Who do you have this week for week 14?
My tight end start. We talked about him a little bit, and I'm kind of interested now because of how he laid out Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to start Brenton's. Or no, wait. Wow. No, starting Tyler Warren against the Jacksonville Jaguars, are giving up 69 yards per game these last handful of games at the tight end position. I think that what you mentioned about Daniel Jones in that sort of role, I think he could rely heavily on Tyler Warren this week, more so than a Pittman or a Pierce or a Downs. I like the idea of Tyler Warren having a game this week and being the alpha in that offense as far as being the go-to receiving option if Jonathan the center up and down the field. So I got a ceiling of 22 points for Tyler Warren, and I got a floor of 14 as tight end one numbers for you. Maybe not tight end one overall, but I think I got it this week, and I think you can confidently, even weeks previously, roll it there in a must-win for these Colts.
Okay, so Tyler Warren, I like it because sometimes he is a name that comes up too, where people don't have total confidence in. And you're right, the matchup's so good, you got to
Wasn't he
have
injured
confidence.
last week? too, or no, he had the shits or something.
He had some kind of stomach bug or flu or something like that, and everyone was all like, "But I do believe he scored last week, so he is money in the bank." As always, like Tyler Warren. But my tight end starts a guy that I've been talking about a lot tonight, and I'm going to say it one more time: Darren Waller going up against the New York Football Jets. Look, he killed the Jets last time he played him. Tight end for. I mean, he is really good in the red zone. The Miami Dolphins target tight ends in the red zone, guys. And he is, got a game under his belt. I think he'll be more healthy this week than he was last week. So fire up Darren Waller. If he's a guy that's available, you need tight end help. He is someone I'm going to grab and see what happens. But let's go over to the dreaded sit category to share a quarterback. You're going to be sitting in week 14. Who are you going to put on the pine?
All right, here's the start of my grand finale fireworks for this week. I'm going to light them off. Here we go. Cover your ears, Chicago. Caleb Williams, I'm sitting him this week. I think the pressure is going to come to him. I think the Packers are going to get to him. And I think this is going to be a heavily run-oriented game script for the Chicago Bears, where if they get the sniff of a lead, they're going to try to put this thing on ice and not in Iceman's hands with the running backs of either Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift and try to pace this game out, the ball out of Toyota-thon, Jordan Love's hands, and that Packers offense. So I think the cap ceiling performance from Caleb is not going to come this week. He's not going to have his cute QB1 overall. He's not going to finish in the top 10 at quarterback position. I think he's going to fit somewhere between 11 to 16 quarterback. His ceiling is probably 18 points with a floor of 10. I think that this is a game too important for the Packers. I'm talking into existence. They're going to shut him, put him in his place, and they're going to quiet this noise on Caleb Williams for one more week for me, please.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You're picking against the acrylic assassin. I can't believe it. But let me just tell you right now, if just by hook or by crook that Chicago somehow pulls this off, Bob and Cher are going to be going nuts in the Dynasty DNA group chat because, me and Wiz love messing with these guys when it comes to that. But, this should be a good game. Like Tashira said, I'm excited to watch it. But you're right. I mean, this is a team that likes to run the football, and I think if they have success there, they're not going to be in a big hurry. And they are down a big target in Roma Dunze. So this could really hurt Caleb Williams' chances. And we'll see how he develops with DJ Moore. We talked about it. It's almost like a bond out of necessity now. We'll see how it goes. But my quarterback that I'm going to be sitting here in week 14, what was the word I used earlier, Tashira? I believe it was fraudulent, right? Fraudulent.
Ooh. Yep.
I'm going to sit down Justin Herbert this week. I love Justin Herbert as a passer, but something is off with this team when it comes to producing high-end fantasy points, when it comes to producing consistent performances. And I'm getting kind of sick of it, man. I really am. I can't make excuses anymore. I'm tired of saying this year is going to be better. This year is going to be better. It's kind of the same movie we watch over and over again. And I like Justin Herbert, but I cannot play him against Philadelphia. I think they're going to try to really establish the run game. If that doesn't go, I think it could be even worse for the Chargers. I think the Eagles are going to be out for blood a little bit. So I'm very, very, very cautious with Justin Herbert this week, right? In super flex, you have him as a quarterback 2 or something. That's great. You want to give him a go. That's fine. But I cannot trust him as a quarterback 1 in a 1 quarterback league this week. I just can't do it. So we have another question coming in here now from our friend JC Reyes. He asked, gentlemen, Hurts or Brissett? And I don't want to start Marks at running back 2. How confident are y'all about Hampton coming off IR? I also have Vidal just in case, half PPR. So we'll start with the quarterback end of things. Tashera, Jacoby Brissett, or you're going to maybe go to Jalen Hurts here against the Chargers. What's your thoughts on those 2 players?
My thoughts I'll start with Hurts on the Monday night game. I think that just based on this situation, them playing across the country off a bad loss against the Bears, that they're going to have some pride on their side and want to play a more good game and play a little bit more of a prove-it game against these Chargers, which might be the case, but I'm just not comfortable with this offensive coordinator they have, this offense they want to roll out of I don't know if it's going to be a pass-heavy game script with Hurts throwing it to A.J. Brown and Goddard and Smith. These guys keep frequently disappearing outside of A.J. Brown since he cried about his targets, that now he's getting hyper-targeted, hyper-focused, and has made this passing attack for the Eagles very one-dimensional in the sense of the target flows only go one direction. There isn't being the ball spread around, and the running game is very, very stagnant, very predictable, I would say, for me. Like, you got outside the tackle runs with Barkley, or you got Hurts scrambling for his life. I gotta stay in the Flames with Brissett. I know Hurts is probably the better statistical, whatever quarterback you want to call it, and he's the juicy matchup against the Chargers, but stay in the Flames because I think you're playing with house money that this game gets in, unless if it's really close, like you mentioned with the Rams and the Cardinals. But the likelihood of that, I think it's more so either going to be garbage time or way up and ahead. Like, it's just I like the upside with Brissett. I'm going to stay in the he's been reliably finishing quarterback one for me where I've needed him, whereas Hurts has been a little more, like Bob likes to call it, yo-yo, and I kind of don't like it around this time of year, those types of players.
Yo-yo, yeah, and I agree. Like, yes, and like I said, I know a lot of people just tuning in, joining us. We've been talking about Jacoby Brissett a lot. Like I've been saying, the game script is never against him, and that's why it's working. And he's been a quarterback one every time he's played this season, as far as being the starter for the Cardinals. And I'm like you, Teixeira, I can't turn away from that. And it is a tough matchup for Jalen Hurts going up against the Chargers. Like, this is going to be that classic for the Chargers, Eagles, who runs the ball better, who plays better defense. And I think that could really stunt passing point growth, whether it be Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts. And we know Hurts hasn't been on the money, throwing the ball as much. Has gotten a little bit better with A.J. Brown, but this is a tough matchup, man. And I'm going to stick with Jacoby Brissett as well. And like I said, even if they get blown out, he's going to have garbage time. Even if it's a competitive game, he's going to keep them in it, and he's throwing touchdown passes. I got to stick with Jacoby Brissett as well. And also ask, how confident are y'all about Hampton coming off IR? I also have Vidal. He's talking about his worry about playing Woody Marks. And look, in your scenario, Reyes, like, if I have Hampton, I'm playing Hampton over Woody Marks. Cut and dry. Like, I think Woody Marks is just 7 points. He's ticketed for 7 points. You have a ceiling possibility with the Hampton, and you do have Vidal, right? Just keep an eye on what the Chargers want to do, what kind of snap share maybe they're talking about for Hampton. I'd be reading all the reports, but I'm playing, depending on what happens with those players, I'm playing them over Woody Marks at this point in a tough matchup against Kansas City. Do you agree, Teixeira?
Yep. In this scenario, I'm more comfortable playing and rolling out with Hampton than I am with Woody Marks.
I'll have to agree. So we have our friend J-Dog. Hope you're doing well tonight, J-Dog. Again, glad to see a lot of the old faces coming back, guys. New faces, new subscribers, new comments. That all helps. You guys are the best. Likes, shares. You guys are awesome. But asking Brissett or Nix, Brissett has been saving my season. You know what, J-Dog? Oddly enough, he saved a couple of my seasons as well. And, we were kind of all over this on the Dynasty DNA Network about 6 weeks ago. We talked about this a lot. And man, oh man, like, I got in a Dynasty League, I got Jacoby Brissett for a 4th-round pick when this all started. And it's looking out like a great move right now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to play Jacoby Brissett over Bo Nix. Now, do I think Bo Nix has a better game against the Raiders than he did last time? Yes, I do, right? But, like, it could be another game where it's 24-20 type of a game against the Raiders, and I just don't think there's a huge ceiling there. Brissett's been a quarterback one every time he's played this season. Like I mentioned, the game script always works for him. Give me Jacoby Brissett to share. Are you in agreement?
Absolutely. I'm staying in the Flames. I'm rolling hot with Brissett. And like I've mentioned vehemently before all over this podcasting network is I've thrown away the bingo card. I'm out on this Broncos offense. But I do think and agree Nix has a better game for the Broncos this week. It's just nothing I want to throw him in over Brissett over.
Right. Like, I mean, even when I say better game, like, I can see Nix maybe ending up with 18, 19 points, which is very good, very respectable. But, like, Brissett, if everything goes right against these Rams, Bryce Young did it last week. Like, if everything goes right, like, he could maybe another 30, 28-point game. And, like, I got to take advantage of that, see what happens, right? So, yeah, I'm going to stick with Brissett there, too. But let's go into some running back sits here, Teixeira. running back sit that you have for us for week 14. Who are you going to sit down at the running back spot?
We just talked about him. I'm going to throw in, doesn't have a friend in Woody Marks this week. I think that the passing arm of CJ Stroud is going to be relied upon, these wide receivers, and some Schultz action. It's patterns and trends. We like to talk about this here, and then you got to trust the eyes of what you see of these offenses and how they're performing, how they're operating, and what's working and what isn't working. And right now, they caught us with our pants down in the fantasy world with Woody Marks right away, and he was having some big booming games. He was having some success on the ground, but I think defensive coordinators have schemed up and have caught up to this guy that really handicap his performances and really side as far as matches go. And you just have to be wary of that. And I don't think this is a game where the game strip's going to call for Woody Marks a lot. In the running game, he might have some PPR value still as salvaging his day. That's why I have him at a floor of 10 to 11 points and a ceiling of 14. It's just the variance is there is if he gets in the end zone or not. If he doesn't, then he's closer to 9-10 points. If he does, I can see him hitting that 13-14 mark. And it's a player at that position where I just want to from.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy right now, like you said, inconsistent as inconsistent could be. I think Houston needs a superstar type back. I think that could really help elevate this offense. They just don't have it. Yeah. He's more of a change of pace pass catching guy, and he can't do the 3-down work ultimately. That's the problem with Woody Marks. I mean, he can hit on one of these lucky touchdowns or get a couple really nice catches that can help bolster his stats. You could see a little bit better, but that's why he's down right now. He's just not a 3-down guy. I'm not knocking him. He's a solid football player. He's just not a superstar running back. So I like to sit to share. We really can't trust him much at this point. My running back.
And I double down and say Nick, like both just a Houston running back room.
Yeah, and Nick Chubb, it's just an ancient player. That's the problem. Vintage. Like, I love vintage. At one point, I really liked Nick Chubb as far as being the best runner in the league, but now he's just a shell of his former self, unfortunately. Yeah. But every dog has their day, unfortunately. But my running back sits this week, and you notice when I say that.
Oh, I know.
The Kansas City Chiefs running backs going up against the Houston. I don't like playing either of these guys. You're really banking on a lucky touchdown. Maybe they get down to the 1-yard line and then they punch it in. That's almost your only hope, right? And I just don't want to go into a game relying on that. And I can't rely on that. So I'm not playing either Pacheco or Kareem Hunt this week. I think the stretch for a touchdown is too much. And I think I'd take the under on this game as well. I really do. But we have Bob asking, Myers, Sutton, PPR, also Swift or Neal, thanks. So very quickly here for Bob. I've been saying it. I really like Cortland Sutton this week to share, but Jacoby Myers is Jacoby Myers. So where's your thought process on this? If you had to pick one, who you pick in Cortland Sutton or Jacoby Myers?
I like the pitch you made for Sutton earlier in the night. And that being said, though, I've liked Myers just a little bit more in this recency these last 2 weeks than I do Sutton, and I'm going to lean more Myers' way with Lawrence in a pass heavier game where I think that Sutton could be a little bit capped if they try to get cute and incorporate Harvey a little too much in the game script or try to get that running game going with Sean Payton. And I think Myers will have a bit closer, like better day. It's not like a huge gap, but I think he's going to be slightly better than Sutton this week.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, I think Cortland Sutton's going to be a fine play this week, a lot better than what most people think. But Jacoby Myers, and I said this to Shara, I said when he got traded there, I said this is the guy Trevor Lawrence would really like because I just knew it. He's looking for him in the middle of the field. He's a tough, chain moving type receiver. That's the guy that Trevor Lawrence likes. It's a good matchup. Give me Jacoby Myers as well. I have to agree with you. But we're also got DeAndre Swift or Devin Neal this week to share. Who you taking in that scenario?
I'm going to go with Shanuti's boy here. I'm going Devin Neal. I think against the Buccaneers, he's the last man standing back there. And I like the direction this Saints running game is going with him back there. He's a pass-catching back, sort of like a Kamara-esque, and they're familiar with that. And hopefully Shuck can maintain this momentum with him back there. I know it was a rough game last week and the week before, but he could start to come into his own here. And I just think that I'm all aboard. Like, I think Swift will have his moments in this game against the Packers, but hitting grit and the dependable parts of this game, I think they're going to rely on Monunga and rely on Swift. So I'm going to go with Devin Neal over DeAndre Swift.
Agreed. I'm going to go with Devin Neal as well, but I think this could be very close, a lot closer than what people think. Like, I could see this just being that ultimate, maybe each get about 12-ish type points, 10-ish type points. Like, it's totally possible, right? So I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I like Devin Neal's upside just a tad bit more there this week. So we have Dak02 Max. I like that name, MXC.
I love it.
I like it. Yeah, definitely a good name. What's up, guys? What's up, Dak? Happy to have you with us, my friend. Jaylen Warren or Kyle Monungai, full PPR to Shara. Who are you playing in that instance?
In that instance, I'm gonna stick with my guy Monungai. I think he can find himself into the end zone. The way you've pitched the Steelers for me this week against the Ravens, it terrifies me that they're gonna try to get cute and be in a pass heavy game script. And even though Warren's the pass catching back there, what are his 4 or 5 touches out of the backfield going to look like as far as passing goes? Are they going to be close to the line of scrimmage? Are they going to like bust a big one? I don't know. Like, it just seems like the Ravens got momentum and the Steelers, it's not, I don't know. It's like looking like a spilt plate of spaghetti on the floor. It's just a mess. And I don't know if I want to be caught holding that bag. I'd rather go with the guy I believe in so far, and I have believed in, and I feel it has a ceiling in his matchup than Warren does in his.
And, honestly, Kenneth Gainwell's been a thorn in Jaylen Warren's
that guy
side.
too. I always forget about him.
And that is something that we're starting to see more and more of. And like, to me, they're the same back. Like, I just think that Gainwell's a way better receiver. And how I've always felt about Jaylen Warren, to share. Like, I've said it. I've never bought in. I've never fully been invested. Like, I don't think he's the worst player in the world, but he's like running back 22 right now. And that's the ceiling. Like, that is the ceiling, right? So you look at this game, it's going to be tough. I think that we're going to see just as much of Gainwell as what we're going to see. Warren, I do believe he could hit a maybe 10-point mark. But, yes, Monungai has more of a capability there. Like, if Monungai gets 1 touchdown, we're in business. Like, that's all it takes.
He will.
That's all it takes. And I think that I got to go with him more. I know the matchup looks better, but Baltimore's been playing tougher too. Like, I mean, like we're talking about the tale of 2 seasons. So I'm going to go with Monungai as well, Dak. Hopefully that helps. I think that there's more potential there. I think he could touch the ball more, and I think he could do more with it. So give me Monungai. I'm with the share on that. We have Ryan with us, and it's nice to see some new faces. Like I said, guys, new faces, old faces. Happy to have you. Thank you for the support. New subscribers, comments. You guys are the best. Ryan asks, is Joe Burrow a league winner? So here you go, Tashara. We talk about Joe Burrow's return. Could he be a league winner this year now back in Cincinnati?
I believe so. I think he's got the Steelers one more time on that schedule. Or is it the Ravens?
Nope, Steelers are done.
Regardless, Steelers are done. Well, still, it gave me a breath of relief when I saw what he was able to do last week against the Ravens. Regardless, like, I was so worried about that injury, about that toe, what his mobility was going to be like, what his confidence back there with that offensive line, if he was going to be jittery or skittish. But he just seemed calm. He was precise. He was cerebral, and he was very effective in the first game back from taking basically majority of our season off. It's just like hallelujah moment coming through the lights coming through the clouds, and your quarterback position could be here for your fantasy playoffs. I think he's got a dicer decent that favors playing him at the quarterback position in 1 quarterback league, definitely in Superflex, and I think he's got the potential to hit more of his ceiling plays the rest of the season than floors. Like, I think he could get to those ceilings more often than not than getting to his floors. Like, I think he's closer to hitting 30-point games rest of the season than he is just settling for 2-point games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's it. Like, I mean, he even said, Burrow looked like a boss. He's a field general, man. Like, he is a guy that
Yep.
has total control of what's going on the field. And yes, he could be a league winner because you look at the playoff schedule ahead. He plays Arizona. He plays Miami. Like, these are teams he could really eat against. And he plays Baltimore. We've seen what he did to Baltimore this last week, right? I mean, he didn't, really get really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 20 points. It wasn't amazing. He didn't get the apple cart turned up on him. Like, he played very well in that game. So yes, I mean, definitely could be, especially if you need quarterback help and he come back. He could absolutely save your season and maybe
Yep.
win you a title. No doubt about it. So we have Ryan asking Harvey versus Swift this week. I will start with this one. If we're talking just this week, definitely Harvey for me because,
Yep.
We talked about Monungai, the Swift thing. There's two guys there. There's nobody else there against Harvey in Denver. It is a good matchup going against the Raiders. I know it was disappointing last time. I don't see that happening again. I think he could be a 12-ish type point guy this week, Harvey. I mean, maybe with the ceiling of possibly doing more. See, that's the difference. That's like where you talk to me about fitting an index card between these two players. The difference is I think you can see them both getting around 10 or 12 points, but who has the chance to get the ceiling? That's Harvey, right? So I'm going to go Harvey. The matchup's better. I think it's just a better move with Harvey. And also ask Jameson Williams versus London in week 15 to share. There you go. So if you want to pull that up right now and see what their matchups are like on Sleeper, feel free. But who would you like in week 15, which is the first round of the playoffs? Would you prefer Jameson Williams or would you prefer Drake London in that scenario?
I would go Jameson Williams because I have a scary thought that the Atlanta Falcons could just shut down Drake London for the rest of the season. I don't see what incentive they have to rush him back. I mean, he's got Kirk Cousins throwing to him. They're all but out of playoff contention, and their draft pick for next year doesn't even belong to them. So it's like that's their guy of their future. He's their number one superstar, the wide receiver room. That's the guy that they're going to build around in the passing game. If he does play though, like just say he's supposed to be back, the Q is there, and he's like, oh yeah, I think I like the correlation better with JMO and the taking the volatility, but loving the idea of the splash play versus and a team that's just on the downswing, just a mess on offense with a backup quarterback and poor quarterback. I'm going to go with momentum for my playoffs, and I got more momentum on the Jameson Williams side. He's playing like a receiver too, and these Falcons at least leave a lot left meat on the bone to desire to want to take a bite out of.
Right, and I agree with you. Everything you said about the Jameson Williams versus Drake London scenario. And he says, y'all just gained all my respect. No, listen, man, we thank you for joining us. I mean, we love to talk about this. Honestly, like sometimes like when we get these scenarios, it even brings fresh ideas in our heads. So believe me, we appreciate the questions, the dialogue. That all really helps. And it really helps everybody because maybe some of these other people have some of the same players. So it's good to discuss some of these things, right? So good way to lay that out. I think I would trust Jameson Williams more in that scenario. And we're going to go over now to share two wide receiver sits as we wait some more questions coming in. Wide receiver sit, who do you have for us for week 14?
This guy is close to you. You put money into him, and I've been disappointed the last 4 or 5 weeks I've had to start him, and I'm just ready to just be done for that is starting this week for us in my playoff. It's DK Metcalf, like less than 6 targets per game these last 3 or 4 games. The quarterbacks Mace off or Aaron Rodgers, who knows? He just doesn't have any time to get him the ball. It's the offense is a mess. The offensive scheme is just not catered. I don't think the plays aren't designed like for not going to. They're trying to get Calvin Austin involved. I mean, I respect getting Darnell Washington because he's a beast. They're running 2 tight end sets a lot of the time. Defense is known to just scheme like all we have to do is worry about DK, triple cover him, and his ceiling games haven't been there. It's been I've just had a bad taste in my mouth every time I've had to play him, and he's been more oftentimes than not the reason why I've lost matchups because I get barely double-digit points, and that's my wide receiver 1, potentially, most likely wide receiver 2 on a lot of my rosters, and he's really killing me and hurting me. And I think against these Ravens, like you said, it's the tale of two different teams. One's on the upswing and looking like trying to come for the division. The other team is just trying to hold on tight and brace and grin and bear things through. And I just think in DK Metcalf against these Ravens in a must-win game, as much in the past as he was, I just don't think this season, that he's the guy to rely upon to get you into your fantasy playoffs. And you should just pivot up.
Yep, I'm definitely not trusting any assets. I said it even started the season.
Yep.
Like, I don't trust Steeler assets. Like, I never will until there's changes made there. I don't trust it. And we have Ryan asking Hall versus Harvey. So let me take this one on the start. Give me Breece Hall this week. And I'll tell you, man, getting fresh life breathed into Breece Hall with Tyrod Taylor coming in, it has helped. I'm not saying Tyrod Taylor's great, but we've seen it the last couple of weeks. Running back 15, running back 17. That's respectable from Breece Hall. It's still not magnificent, but it's respectable. And in a game like this against Miami, he had, one of his better games against Miami during the season.
I think I remember that too.
Yeah, it wasn't his best game. It was a good game. And I think he could do it again. And I think he could be a touchdown scorer this week. And I look at RJ Harvey I look at it like you're taking the ultimate gamble, right? Let's say Breece is running back 14 against Miami and he gets 16 or 17 points, right? Let's say he does that. Harvey could get that ceiling and hit 21, but is it worth taking the risk? You know what I mean? So to me, it's and I still think there could be a bit of a ceiling there for Breece, even having that safer floor. So give me Breece Hall over RJ Harvey this week. I don't know how you feel to share. Do you agree? And we'll move on to my wide receiver sit.
I love it. He's my ride or die. And in this scenario, I'm going to count. I think out of these running backs, this guy, Breece Hall, is going to be the spark to get if this game hits the over or it gets to a higher scoring potential as we think it's going to be on these running backs, Devon Achane and Breece Hall, to really be the catalyst for this game. These offenses are going to, as their running backs go, and I think that with Tyrod, just give a little bit of the collars loosened a little bit for Breece Hall, just to relax and be more comfortable and confident. And we've seen with his performances, and I like the certainty I get out of Breece Hall than I do with Harvey in that offense with Sean Payton. I'd rather bank on my guy than bank on
it's a safer option that has the higher ceiling, right? That's really what it comes down to for me, because even Ryan said here Harvey had 2 touchdowns at 35 yards. That is scary. It is scary. That's the gamble you take.
What do you do against the Raiders?
The one nice thing about Harvey is, though, you do have that pass catching. You probably have 6 points in pass catching usually, maybe around there. Okay. But my thing is, he's not a 3-down back. Yep. And that's what's killing, the Broncos overall. He could be that explosive guy, running back 2 of the future that could be really good on your bench, flex type of guy. But it's hard to rely on him as a running back 1 in your team, because he just isn't that, But give me Breece Hall. I just think he's an all-around better player, better situation this week. And I think it's more of a safe floor with a potential of still a nice ceiling, right? So give me Breece Hall.
I think the way you've pitched it too is if he could, I would flex Harvey and start Breece if he could over some of these wide receiver options, be lower down on the hole on your lineup.
Right, and it depends on too how many points you need, right? If it's a points type deal, you could use points and you want to take a risk. That's always in the play for RJ Harvey as well. He could be that boom you need sometimes. He definitely could be the bust. Yeah, he could be the boom you need sometimes. So, but this week 1 for 1, definitely Breece. I'm with you on that. Let's go Breece in that scenario. Yep. We're gonna go over to my wide receiver sit. As I mentioned earlier, if I was starting a track team, this guy would be on the team. But as far as football, no, I don't want it. Xavier Worthy, I am sitting down Xavier Worthy this week. I don't want any parts of it. He is someone that's going up against a tough matchup. If there's anybody else, if I've had Devon Bailey, I played Devon Bailey way over Xavier Worthy this week. It's a
Khalil Shakir?
Oh, yeah. Khalil Shakir. Give me Khalil Shakir. better all-around receiver. I know he's boom bust too, but he's a better receiver overall. I got to go with that route, but I can't play Xavier Worthy this week. Jared says, I failed to mention to you guys, starting Walker and sitting Harvey or Monungai. See, that's where it gets interesting. Kenneth Walker's in that scenario. Do you play him and gamble and try to get that Kenneth Walker touchdown? We all know it's like when you sit him on your bench, that's usually when it happens. But like to me, I would play Monungai and Harvey over Kenneth Walker. I would. I would, because I think Monungai's floor is better, and I think the ceiling is better for Harvey over Walker. Absolutely, Jared. I would play Monungai and Harvey over Walker. I would.
I want pieces in the Packers-Bears game. That's what I'm going to, at bottom line, I want pieces in that game. Well,
and we could see Sam Darnold, do more of the work for the Seahawks. And Zach Charbonnet's there. I know there's Swift and Monungai. There's no one there behind Harvey. So it's like, I'm playing Harvey, I'm playing Monungai. I'll sit Kenneth Walker and take that chance, right? I mean, like, what am I missing out on? Running back 2 usually? He's been running back 1 like just a few times this year. So I'm like you. Give me Monungai. Give me Harvey. That's very good, Jared. Give me Monungai. Give me Harvey. So there you go, Teixeira. Would you play Monungai over Swift? I think you would.
Yep. I think this will be finally the nail in the coffin for this season of that turning of the tide of this the splits for the carries in the backfield there. I mean, the pattern's going. Monungai is creeping up and creeping further along in that role as the RB1 in that Bears offense. I mean, Swift is holding water. He's holding his own. He's playing respectively with the opportunity he's getting. But goal to goal, short yardage line, that's going to Monungai. Third down and passing downs, or third down rather, is in short yardage, it's going to Monungai. I mean, what Swift has in his back pocket is he's got the passing downs and he's had the big splash plays on offense when plays have broken down and Caleb has been able to find him in the passing game, and where that offensive line has allowed him to bust out and giving Kyle Monungai a reprieve on drives that he's been playing on. So I like Monungai over Swift.
Let me say this. Like, I mean, if Detroit didn't have as good of a running back as Jahmyr Gibbs, you would never see David Montgomery come off the field for just anybody, right? Like, and I think that's where Swift's at, right? Like, I think that he's not quite at that super explosive level enough that Monungai is just that better pure runner up between the tackles, and I think that's what's helping him. So, Ryan's asking, is Monungai over Swift? We talked about that one. You said Harvey over Swift. Yes, Harvey over Swift. I agree. So is Where's Corum at? You guys breaking my heart.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I know we're kind of split here, but we're trying to lay out our paths here and how we see these things.
Yeah, and I mean, like, no, thank you, Jared. We appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Like I said, anything you need, we're always available. Hope it helps. We just try to throw it out there and we talk about this stuff, and sometimes it's good to get them ideas out there. As far as Blake Corum goes, probably the better handcuff you'd want right now, but you're going to see an uptick. Like I said, you're going to see an uptick in Blake Corum production just based off the fact that I think they want to not run Kyron into the ground before the playoffs. And I think that's going to be good, right? And I think he's one of the better handcuffs you want. If you have Kyron Williams, you want Blake Corum. For sure. I mean, no doubt about that.
For me, it's a lot similar to the ETN Bayshall Tootin situation. If I got ETN, I want Tootin. If I have Corum, if I have Kyron, I'm at with Corum. I'm not all the way out on him. He's still at a point where I want him rostered. I want him on my bench at the very least, so he's not on the other team. I have to come across some opponents in these playoffs. I don't have to be like looking down the barrel like he's got a Corum. This might hit me with a 6 to 10 flex spot.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go to tight ends here to share. Tight ends sit for week 14. Who are you going to put down on the bench for week 14?
Developed as long as the week crept along with the Justin Herbert injury. I'm sitting Aronde Gadsden. I think the patterns of the performances of recently and Lad McConkey really solidifying himself as the wide receiver 1. I know Keenan Allen has kind of faded off too, and Q just still there, but I'm just really worried about this week because the Eagles are going to come to punch these guys in the mouth and kind of give what they got from the Bears over to them and really make the Chargers win this game on the ground and really keep Herbert contained, not let plays break down. and really keep stuff in front of him. So I think the big splashy plays from we've seen from Gadsden earlier this year that he's had, those big long receptions and those touchdowns, I think that's really going to be contained and out of question this week, especially with the injured Justin Hurt. And I think he's got a ceiling of 12 to 13 points for me. And I think I'm going to go with floor 7 to 8. And I think that most of his points, I'm banking on one big reception, or he gets in the end zone and sprinkled like touchdown catches to get up, pad the stats kind of a thing. So I think he's a low floor play as far as tight end goes, and you can pivot elsewhere and rely upon to get you into the play. Monday Night Miracle coming from him.
Yeah, and we talked about it. You know how I feel about the Chargers. That's what I said. It's something new that we're talking about. And we're going to talk more about it on the network, on Spotify, on Apple Pod when we do the shows. I mean, I think this is something that we could really talk about going into the off season. We'll see how kind of like the postseason goes, who makes what, where the Chargers are at. So we'll definitely see. If you're starting Monungai, you're in trouble, Ryan says. I mean, look, the matchup don't look good, but he's been producing the numbers.
Double maker this year.
He's a Monungai guy, Teixeira. He loves Kyle Monungai. And, honestly, I think that, this Bears rushing attack in general has been, very, very good. And I give Bob credit. He was talking about this getting better. And I think that that's what they need to do. The Bears are successful. They run the football. That is a very good statement from Bob. Any team, but really the Bears, like the history of the Bears outside, they are a team that needs to do that. Let's go into my running back sits here. I'm going to be sitting down Dallas Goedert here this week for tight ends here. 4 tight end sits. And look, I mean, we talked about this game kind of being maybe underwhelming, more defense. Who runs the ball better? Right? Like it could come down to that. And I mean, the Chargers are, have been ranked in the bottom 7 as far as giving up yards to tight ends this year. They've only allowed 2 touchdowns to the position all year. And, honestly, this is something here that is really troubling because what has driven Dallas Goedert's production? It's been tight ends or been touchdown for tight ends. It hasn't been a bunch of reception volume, this and that. So, I mean, look, I think that this is a big thing that's going to slow and really hurt Dallas Goedert this week is the lack of touchdown production. And I don't think the Philly's going to throw the ball over the place. I think it's going to be a running game. I think it's going to be a defense game. And I think you got to pick your spots with Dallas Goedert. And I just don't think this is the week. Normally I send super chats. I can't do that. What's up with that? Oh, sorry. We never really developed that, honestly, Ryan. We appreciate that greatly. And I mean, it's just like I said, mainly right now we're trying. Yeah, we're still growing, learning the whole YouTube thing, but we're just thankful to have you with us. And honestly, like I said, subscribe and like it and follow and talking here in the comments. More than anything, for starters, we appreciate that. And we're glad to have you with us. And that's why I love doing these chats. Like we can all talk about this stuff and kind of get on each other's cases and, have fun picking at each other. We give each other a hard time. Bob's always usually in here. Colio, a lot of other great people that have been chiming in, listening, been with us all year, greatly. So we appreciate that. But let's get into our Dabble Fantasy start of the week, Dabble Fantasy sit of the week. Here, we'll go with you, Teixeira. We'll start this out. We'll continue answering questions. But give me your Dabble Fantasy start of the week this week, Teixeira. Dabble Fantasy sponsors Dynasty DNA. Use that promo code DNA4 as a first-time user. You get $10 in free play. We love Dabble Fantasy. But Teixeira, go ahead and give me a Dabble Fantasy start of the week.
Here's my big Mama Jamma, big birth bomb that I'm going to be dropping on everybody. This is going to be my set it and forget it, guaranteed 30 burger this week at the C position. Brace yourselves. He's back. We waited all year for all year patiently. And for those of you who've been believing in it in the season before, this guy is going to be a league winner for you in your fantasy. Give me Bucky Irving against the Saints. I got him at the ceiling of scoring 30 points in his matchup with a floor of where Baker struggles with this passing game against the Saints, which TJ is notably alluded to early in the night about how they've kind of kept him up to 4 dud on us earlier in the year. Bucky Irving's going to pick it up and run with it. No intended. And I think is one of these big games, crucially to depend on into your playoffs, spoiling one of those hopeful teams. If you got Bucky Irving, you're really happy looking in your matchup. And if you're on the other side, it's coming. I'm going to lock them in and forget them. Bucky Irving, Dabble Fantasy start of the week.
All right, I like the call out. We'll continue answering some questions here. We have Bobby. Hey, fellas. Hey, Bobby. Hope you're having a good night.
Yeah.
We have Colston Loveland or Jawan Johnson. Thanks for your great picks all season. Also would love to donate super chats. We'll add the super chat. That's something that we never really thought of, but we appreciate that, guys. We really do. And, thank you for all subscribing in the comments. Like, you guys are awesome. Like, we have a great community here. We appreciate that. And we'll continue to expand it. You guys are the best. But we have Colston Loveland or Jawan Johnson here for Bobby to share. What are you looking at there? If you had to pick one of them guys this week, what's your thoughts?
I will say first, too, guys, if you like this, you will love our Discord, our Facebook, and our Twitter presence. We are always constantly responding to your questions, responding to your trade talks, responding to everything there where you can find us. So on that note, for this week, I think what I alluded to earlier, I know I had Caleb Williams as my sit of the week, but if Ivan do well, I'm going to have him rely on DJ Moore and this other guy right here, Colston Loveland. I'm going to start him confidently over Juwan Johnson just because as much as Tyler has been successful these previous couple of weeks with Devon Vele and Chris Olave, I just think that Juwan Johnson's the man out, and he provides more of like the sub-floor kind of game for you, like the 6 to 10 points matchups this week where Colston Loveland could get you that 12 to 16. He can break away from the defense because there's one thing that there's a weak spot in the Packers defense that they need to exploit is the linebacker position, because as they have Parsons coming up and doing the pass rush and they have Gary right along the line, Cooper sorry, and the other two backers, they tend to get in pass coverages, and that's perfect in the Chicago Bears offense. If Ben Johnson is critical about that in attacking in the passing game, look at feast. I think I can see him having a better game, and I'm going to rely upon him. I know it's a Bear, whatever, but I think he's just going to have the better game and be the better player overall.
And you're giving the Bears their props, and I appreciate that. You're right. And another thing is too, like you mentioned it, right? Like necessity, right? And like, who's the better player athlete? Like, I mean, and I'm not knocking Jawan Johnson because ex-Penn State guy. I know a lot about him. He's kind of an athletic guy, no doubt about it. But I think that Colston Loveland is just a better tight end. You know what I mean? As far as like what he could potentially develop into, he's more of a necessity for the Bears. We see Devon Vele starting to come on for the Saints, right? So like maybe he takes more Jawan Johnson's work as well. So, I mean, yes, I think I got to rely on Colston Loveland there. And I think that, honestly, I think he could be a double-digit point candidate this week. As far as how high he gets, I don't know, but I think he could probably get you 10 to 14. I feel comfortable thinking that way based off of what, has transpired in Chicago and the fact that they need to get more people involved. No, thank you, Bobby. Thank you for being a great friend, someone that's really engaging in the chat, and we're so glad to have you with us. We have Glenn here asking, PPR, need one running back, one flex. We got Xavier Worthy, Chris Godwin, Kamani Vidal, Devin Neal, Bam Knight. So I will start with this one, Teixeira. I'm going to say like this. The running back for sure I'm going to play is Devin Neal, right? I'm going to go with Devin Neal at the running back spot. And I think that if I'm going to flex somebody, I think I'm going to gamble and I'm going to go Chris Godwin out of this list. Like if I'm going to flex somebody, it's a big gamble. I think it's a gamble that I'm going to have to take. It's PPR. I want to get a receiver in there if I can help it. Devin Neal's a pass catcher as well. And a PPR standpoint, he's going to touch the ball a lot with Kamara out. I don't trust Worthy in a tough matchup, especially. Bam Knight, I mean, it's another tough matchup. I think we're going more Jacoby Brissett throwing the ball for the Cardinals and them running it. Vidal, we just don't know with the Hampton thing. Like, what kind of timeshare do we have there? And I do think the Eagles are going to be in a nasty mood. We talked about that a lot. So give me Neal, give me Godwin.
I love it. I'm right there. You laid it out perfectly. It's like these times when we're going through these calls, you're like literally taking all of the words from my mind and right out of my mouth. So I liked how you laid that out there, DJ.
Okay, so I'm glad you're with me. and glad we could help him out. We have Ryan asking here, Jawan Johnson, Rondé Gadsden, Kyle Pitts, and Goddard on waivers. I have Andrews. I mean, honestly, like, I mean, if you have some, like, I'm not dropping Andrews, and I'm sure he's not asking that, right? But like, I'm going to keep Andrews, but like, if I have someone else to drop, I mean, look, I think that I don't mind taking a chance on Gadsden or Goddard. Let me look at the remaining schedule for the both of them, just because I'm kind of curious.
Yeah,
to see.
we know the
Yeah, because that could really
plays
determine
the Chiefs once because
Yeah. So Goddard's got a pretty tough one. I mean, 2 red light matchups, 1 green. That don't matter necessarily across the board. But yeah, I mean, like, I think I'm picking up Goddard because Gadsden has the Chiefs, the Cowboys, and the Texans, right? So that's kind of like murderer's rows outside of Dallas. So the Chiefs and the Texans are tough. So I think if I'm going to pick up one of them, I will pick up Goddard, and I think I will see what happens with that. I mean, he is a guy that's been hit or miss, but you know, I think that as far as touchdown production, if I wanted to back up Andrews, that's what I'd have. But I do think Andrews is a guy I trust longer term out of them group.
Yeah, I think having Goddard as your tight end too with your roster is really good for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So we have Felk asking, start Abuka or RJ Harvey, half PPR, and would an Abuka and Irving Bucks D stack be all right? So he got a lot of Tampa Bay Buccaneers here, Teixeira. So you have Abuka, you would have Bucky. Yeah, well, you have Abuka, you have Bucky Irving, and you have the Tampa D. Would you feel comfortable playing all that? And it's half PPR, so does Harvey become more in play? Where are you at on that group?
I think I'm going to play Bucky Irving. Like I say, he's my Dabble Fantasy Star of the Week. Don't forget to get Dabble Fantasy and use our promo code DNA4 to get a nice bonus off of your first bet. I think I'm going Irving for sure. Abuka makes me nervous, but it is half PPR. I think, though, I'm going to go with RJ Harvey defense. I think Abuka's faded too much for my liking this part of the season. I don't know if more of that is him and not finding his way in this offense, or if it's more of the Baker Mayfield injury, and he's just they're out of sync right now. There's the pattern, the trend just shows there's just nothing clicking and nothing connecting right here. And with Millen and Evans looming in the future, they're making an appearance back, and Godwin getting back healthier, and Otten's always around. I just think that the deck is stacked more of Abuka being a secondary role piece player than someone you can depend on as your wide receiver one or your number one target going forward on your roster and lineups.
Yeah, I think I agree. And I would not feel comfortable overloading on Tampa Bay that much. And I do think Bucky Irving is the play. I agree with you. And if you have the Tampa Bay D, that's fine, right? Going up against New Orleans. But like, it is half PPR. And if you look at it, you remember I talked to you about the last time the Saints and the Buccaneers played. Abuka had 6 points in that game, right? And this is and that is in full PPR. So that's in a full PPR league.
Jesus.
And I just think that the ceiling comparative floor debate between Abuka and Harvey makes sense for me to give Harvey more of an opportunity. Split up them Buccaneers. I'm going to go Harvey over Abuka in a half PPR stance and see what happens. I know it's scary, but I think I got to go that route for our friend Felix here. So let's go over to Jason here, who's chiming in. Start 2, needs upside. Jaylen Warren, 50-50 timeshare with Kenneth Gainwell. We know that. We got Michael Pittman and Danny Pennies on one leg. Shakir, shootout. John Mechie, Vele, Burden, Rome is out. So, okay, so you need 2. You need upside there to share. So he's looking for upside. Who are you going to go with if you had to start 2 of them for an upside play?
For upside pay, I think I am going to go with man, I really want to start I'm gonna put on the jacket. I'm gonna put Pittman as of those to start, and I think the second one, I'm hoping this is PPR. You need an upside, then I'm gonna go with with Vele here in his matchup against the Buccaneers. The reasons that you pointed out to me earlier in the show tonight, it's kind of opened my eyes to that. And I think that if you're looking for upside, you got Pittman and Vele is these volume type receivers to get at least opportunity and get receptions and like more like feast on points. Not necessarily probably touchdown dependent necessarily, but like they'll be the top looking options, one or two in their offenses.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with a lot of what you said, right? And like my thing is like I think people look at Burden especially as that ultimate upside play, and it definitely could be, but there are still mouths to feed there in Chicago. And I do think that they will want to establish a running presence. We talked about that a lot. Michael Pittman's a guy like I know Daniel Jones is hurt. He's been down a little bit, but like I think that I gotta play Michael Pittman in this stance. It's a good matchup. I'm gonna give him the go ahead. I mean, Khalil Shakir is that guy that's kind of like, you know, like the devil on your shoulder, like trying to tempt you to do it. Like, no doubt about that as well. But like we've been in that scenario many times.
Had to be a couple weeks ago, and it burned me.
Yeah, no, I know. And there might be Dalton Kincaid, but like I think I agree with you. I think I got to go Vele because, you know, we have seen a rapport there with Tyler Shuck. And the thing is, I mean, Olave, what's going on with him? Is he going to be 100%? Hoping he is, right? I mean, he's kind of up in the air. I do think he's going to be available. But, I mean, it's almost become out of necessity, and there is a ceiling there in a good matchup. I'm like you. I think I'll go with Pittman and Vele, right? And I'll see what happens. I think I'm going to go that route. So I hope that helps, Jason. I think me and Tashera are in agreement on that one. So he's got another one here. Start two, need upside, one receiver, one flex. Sutton, Terry. He has Zach Ertz, so thanks for sharing that. Luther Burden, Devin Neal, Amari Hampton, or Vidal 50-50 timeshare. Is it okay to drop Vidal now or wait till after this week just in case Hampton gets hurt? Yeah, let me just start out by saying, yes, I'm going to hold on to Vidal until I see what exactly is going on with Amari Hampton for sure. And that is the thing. Like when players come back right away, they could get injured again. We hope not, but that is something that has happened. They have setbacks, and then you let go of a valuable piece. So he needs one receiver, one flex, needing upside. So let me say this. I like all the context he gave us here. I'm going to put Sutton in as my wide receiver here, and I'm going to put Devin Neal in as my flex. Like if I'm looking for upside, that's where it's at. Give me those two guys, and that's where I'm going to chase because I look at Sutton like it's starting to get a little bit better again with Bo Nix. Like could it be false hope? Could it be fool's gold? Yes. But he is a guy that offers upside. He offers touchdown upside. I don't know what's going to go on with these Chargers running backs. If I have Zach Ertz, I don't feel great about playing Terry McLaurin, and it is a tough matchup for Terry McLaurin this week. And Luther Burden, we talked about it. There's still mouths to feed in Chicago. Devin Neal's going to see a ton of work with the Saints. Whether he does something with it or not, that remains to be seen, but he's going to have that opportunity for upside, and Sutton has a touchdown upside to share. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, exactly. The Burden's a too volatile of an upside play. He is upside by definition, but too volatile for the busty side of it for my liking. And having Ertz already in your line, that kind of like put the nail in the coffin of like eliminating Terry for the board. So by default, Sutton would be the wide receiver there for me. And then for flex, like more times than not, we've been talking with other people in their lineups about the Chargers running back room, Monday Night Miracle. I'm just not compared to the other options, and Neal is one of these options. If Neal is the one I'm at Hampton or Vidal for a Monday Night Miracle, I think the volume alone and the upside for a touchdown. I think Bears aren't necessarily a stout run defense, but they're not actually slouches either. But I think the way you laid it out with some of these players in the past having low performances on the Bucs side, I think shoot them in the mouth and play a little feisty, and they might surprise as far as fantasy production goes.
Yeah, they're a feisty team, New Orleans, no doubt about that. But we got an agreement there for Jason as well. It's kind of odd on a big question like this, back-to-back agreements there. So we have Jason asking one more. Start for, need upside. Kamani Vidal or Maureen Hampton with the timeshare. Neal, Knight or Carter, whatever starts. Monungai, Burden, no Rome. So if we need to start for, I'm going to start with right away. I'm going to start Amari and Hampton in this scenario, I'm going to start Devin Neal. I'm going to start Anungai, and I'm going to start Burden. Right? Them are the ones I'm going for. Like if I'm starting 4, that's who I'm looking at. If I'm looking for upside, I don't like the Arizona Cardinal outlook against the Rams running game. Vidal, like if I'm playing one of the Chargers running backs, I'm playing the better one. And I mean, I'll play both those Bears players. So do you agreement to share before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, since week 2 of Brissett taking over the starting role in Arizona, I've put my chips in and being out on the running backs of the Arizona backfield. I want the passing attack for Arizona. I want nothing to do with those backs. I mean, yes, Knight has been serviceable in the flex position. He's gotten a touchdown here and there. He's kept things afloat, but more often than not, I'm going to avoid it in the matchups and just keep banking on that passing attack. I like Hampton. I like Neal, Monangai, and Burden. Yeah, I know no Rome for Burden, but I think I'm going to take Burden over those 2 Cardinals backs and Vidal for this week.
Okay, so we're in agreement again as well for Jason. Hope that helps, Jason. So we have Ezekiel asking, should I flex Addison, Mooney, or Charbonnet? So like this is tough. This is a tough scenario here because like 9 times out of 10, this will be a no-brainer Jordan Addison. But like right now where you're at, I still think I got to go Jordan Addison as bad as it is. Like, I mean, like I can't believe I'm saying it, but like, I don't know if I trust what I'm seeing in Atlanta enough to play Darnell Mooney because it's just a nightmare overall sometimes for that team. Zach Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker, flip a coin. It could be that, 7-8 point range or maybe possibly 14 if they hit their ceiling. Like the matchup is good. Like I know it's been disgusting. It's been filthy. But like if at this point I got to go back to Addison Teixeira. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think I am. I don't know how you feel.
He's got your jacket. He's one of your dudes, so I respect that. And for me, the deciding factor is the volume dependency for Sharp is just not there in a matchup against Atlanta. Like it smells like a little bit of Kenneth Walker in this game, and he might get lost in the shuffle. I've never been a Mooney guy. If I'm going to bank on a wide receiver out of these 2, I'm going to go with Addison. I know he's been rough and it's been hard to look at for the last handful of weeks, but I think he's the better player, and I think he could have the higher upside this week. And I'll risk it on. Then I'll ever risk it on Mooney, just because the quarterback situations have been abysmal for both teams. It's just the Vikings have the better matchup on paper against secondaries than Mooney's a buzzsaw this weekend with that Seattle defense, and there's much of an upside.
That's it. And I mean, trust them and then trust them in a tough matchup like that. That makes it really hard for sure. So we have Ryan McLaughlin versus Little Teixeira.
Okay, that's a good question. I'm going to pull up here my kicker rank I have posted on our Facebook page and all of our social. And of course, I have them neck to neck right next to each other. I give the edge Flynn in his matchup against the Saints. It's a little bit better to kickers as far if the Saints end up keeping the Bucs out of the end zone for a couple of drives. He can 50-yarder for sure. I think the way that the Jaguars are going to roll is by touchdowns and extra points. I don't think they're going to be slowed down much by that Colts defense. They just lost Sauce Gardner that they just got for week to week, and they've been really just bleeding points to the passing attack. So if the Jaguars are able to stretch the field, get the ball down the field, I think that they punch it in more times than not. So I'm going to go with McLaughlin.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you because I do think that Tampa Bay will be settling for field goals more. Like I just have a feeling, like, and that's what we're hunting for, right? I mean, that's what we're looking for. I could see, that Colts Jaguars game being a little bit touch more low scoring, maybe. Little's a weapon, no doubt about it. I mean, that guy has but I mean, still, you take the risk of maybe he attempts a long field goal or 2 or misses it because they're fighting for field position. That's a possibility. I think I have to lean McLaughlin there as well. We have Jason asking, start 1. Who is the top this week? So we have Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, Mason Taylor, A.J. Barner, Cade Otton, T.J. Hawkinson, Evan Ingram, Colston Loveland. So if you had to, or he said start one, who is the top
Mhm.
three this week? So who are you starting at one, or who start one? Who's the top three? Who are you looking at, Tashara?
So the one I'm starting is Colston Loveland, and then the two others that round out the top three in that are going to be for me Barner and Goddard.
Okay. Zach Ertz don't cross your mind at all, Tashara, in any
It's the tough
circumstance?
matchup against that Vikings defense. I mean, I love the volume and everything. I'm a little bit leery of going up against that Vikings secondary. He's a good option. I think if I were to switch him in for anybody, it would be him for a Barner.
Okay. So I would start Zach Ertz this week in this scenario.
Okay.
And Colston Loveland would be in there for me. And then I would probably go with Evan Ingram, right? Like I would just chase
Okay.
that up at that point. I mean, them other guys are just like, I don't know, like K-Dot and AJ
Well,
Barner,
they're
Taylor.
4
Like,
to 8 point guys.
yeah, and you're really banking on a touchdown. Like, I mean, the
Yep.
matchup's good for Ingram. He seems like he might be coming on just a little bit. I'm going to hopefully ride the momentum. But we have Jason asking, start one this week. Who's the top three this week? Burrow, Nix, Darnold, Love, Trevor. So if you had to start one, Tashara, who is it? And who's going to be in the top three for you there?
So I'm going to start Burrow. That's going to be my start. The top three are going to be Love and Darnold. I think he's going to come back and have a better game than he did last week against the Vikings. I send back in the wide receiver one numbers because that frustrated me last week.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm going to start Burrow there as well. That's going to be my start. And then I'm going to say Love and I'm going to say Darnold, right? And that's going to be my list there. And I think Bo Nix is kind of real close to Darnold, in my opinion. That could be close. I think Trevor's kind of close too. Really, I think Nix, Darnold, and Trevor all could be pretty close, right? Like I think they all could be. Like them are all solid, okay options. But that's the list I'd have if I had to go that route. Jason also asked, better D this week, Dolphins or Titans? So there you go, Tashara. We know that the Titans are playing the Browns, and we know that the Dolphins are playing the Jets.
Man, I think I'm going to go with the upside of maybe getting a turnover for the Dolphins side. I think that Titans-Browns game is just going to be really, really low points, low yardage, and a stalled out game. And that it plays in the hand of the defense though too, because they're not making mistakes. They're not getting the doors blown off. They're going to probably get you between 6 to 10 points, where I think the Dolphins, they've shown a couple of times this year, they can force turnovers and make mistakes happen. And I think they could be the 12 to 14 point range if they nail one of those.
Yeah, and I agree. And, I talked about this game with the Dolphins and the Jets. Like, it's usually a sloppy type-ish game. I could see that occurring again, and I'm kind of banking on that. Like you said, maybe get a turnover of some kind. Like, I think that the Browns can run the ball on the Titans, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think that's where it's going to come down to me. Like, and I think that's going to be a problem for the Titans. So I'll go with the Dolphins as well. Ryan asks, Irving or Harvey? I'm going to go Irving pretty easily here. Like, I do think that if there's one Buccaneer I want to bank on heavily this week, it's Bucky. I know, Tashara, you said that as well. I think that's the route we're going to go for sure. And then he asked if Daniels is back, Ertz is something. Oh, yeah. I mean, 100%.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, Daniels loves to throw it to Ertz. And, too, Mariota hasn't. I mean, he's kind of gotten him the ball a little bit.
I will say if I had to rank the receiving room for the Washington Commanders this week, it's Ertz at 1, Debo at 2, and Terry at 3 for me.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, Shara. If I had to put them all into context like that, I agree. But let's go over to my Dabble Fantasy start of the week. It's a guy that we talked about at the beginning of the show. It's a running back from the Cincinnati Bengals. Give me Chase Utley Brown as my Dabble Fantasy start of the week. We talk about maybe weather conditions being a little bit sloppy, right? But with Joe Burrow's back, he's got Chase Brown looking really good right now. Talk about the tale of two seasons for Chase Brown, right? Like, it's starting to turn around. When Flacco got there, it was getting better. Now that Burrow's back, I think it can only help more. And I do think this team could move and score points. I think that Chase Brown could be a 20-point player this week. I really do. I think he could be a guy off pass catching, little dump offs, and if he visits the end zone, which I think is entirely possible, and Buffalo, we know, is very susceptible to giving up rushing yards. So this could be very good for Chase Brown this week. I'm going to go with him for my Dabble Fantasy start of the week. Teixeira, let's go into our Dabble Fantasy sit of the week. Who do you have for us this week as Dabble Fantasy sit of the week?
Yes. Like, again, I'm going to keep riding here and dropping dynamite sticks on you. I know I threw out a Caleb Williams earlier tonight. This quarterback, I am ready to just plant my flag on in my Dabble Fantasy sit of the week. Lamar Jackson against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This guy has been close to 15 to 20 points consistently for however long I can remember. He's been frustrating to start. Hasn't been many ceiling plays, if any, in the last handful of weeks. And if anything, he's been a detrimental piece on your team in your push to make the playoffs. And I think that this is when the snow hits the ground. I don't know if it is whatever, but I think that this is Derrick Henry. Ty alluded to it. Like, this is the time of the year for the running game of the Baltimore Ravens between Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell. They're going to pound the rock against these Steelers. They're going to know how to beat them, wear them down. And I think that this is going to be, in an odd way, just an odd man situation for Lamar. He's not going to have to throw the ball a whole heck of a lot. He's not going to have to make plays with his legs or scramble or like improvise. I think this is going to be a lot of like, this is going to run through Derrick Henry in the running game. And I think that his ceiling is going to be, again, sub 20 point. I think it's going to be 18 at a ceiling. And it's going to have a floor of 14. And I think he gets like about 16, 17 points this week. So that's why I'm riding him. I'm riding the patterns and the trends of what I've been seeing as I'm watching film on the games. It just MVP Lamar isn't there. This is more like, I don't know, like funky Lamar. It's odd, and I don't want to rely on it this week for my lineups.
I think too that the Ravens are going to run the ball extremely well.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the big thing. We talked about that a lot. I think it's going to be a Derrick Henry game. I think that's what their focus is going to be. And I think that's going to, take away a little bit there too. So I don't think it's going to be like a smash play for him, but I do think the Ravens, like I said, unfortunately, probably handle us fairly easy just so everything I've seen, how soft we've been playing. And it's not good when you got a team that likes to play defense to run the ball like the Ravens typically do coming into town. So that's not good. Ryan says Brown will see no ball, Burrow 40-plus pass. I mean, maybe. I know Teixeira would be happy, but he could dump a lot of those off to Chase. I
still love Captain Canada, though. I think he's going to have a great game.
I think that this could be a high-scoring type affair. I really do. And if you could plunge in a couple of touchdowns, that's a good thing. I think that's possible.
Tune in tomorrow for our pregame show in the morning. You'll see who I may or may not pick for the pick'ems. Might surprise you.
Yeah, them are fun for sure. I always love doing the pick'em rounds. But my Dabble Fantasy sit of the week here is going to be C.J. Stroud going up against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Good one.
This could be a low-scoring affair. You might want to take it under in a game like this, depending on what the points are, right? I don't think their team's going to super light up the scoreboard. He's coming back from these injuries. I feel for C.J. Stroud. It's been a rough year in Houston, and the offensive line really needs some work. But I'll tell you what, their defense is good. D'Amico Ryans has got them playing, and it's keeping them hanging in there in a weak AFC South. They have potential, but I think it's going to be a tougher game this week for offense when it comes to Houston Texans. But what a great episode here. So glad so many people joined us. Thank you so much. Like I said, we love all the new people, the old faces we had. Anyone ever has time, just get them in and talk football. That's what it's all about, man. We only got a few weeks left. It's hard to believe. The fantasy season's coming to an end. But if everyone is enjoying the content and hasn't yet, please like, subscribe, share. That means a lot. Thank you guys for all the wonderful comments and all the nice things you said. We appreciate having you. And like I said, just talking ball together. That's what it's all about. If you are enjoying the content and you have other platforms other than YouTube, check out Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon, any big podcasting platform. We're over there. Check us out there. Check out the Facebook page. Teixeira's been doing a great job over there. Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Network, podcasting network. It's great. He's been kicking butt over there. And a lot of good stuff he's posting. Twitter, Dynasty DNA _. look, I know I speak for Teixeira, everyone here at the Dynasty DNA Network, and we say, we hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. Good luck at all your Week 14 matchups. Join us tomorrow for the Dynasty DNA Morning Show if you have time, starting around 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We'd love to have you. But until then, we hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you all on the next episode here of Stardom